Thought Bubble Audio.
Look, up in the sky!
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to Beer with Geeks with Tim and Frank.
Who are you?
I'm Batman.
I am Iron Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
You're a wizard, Harry.
A couple of guys with a couple of beers and a whole lot of pop culture nostalgia.
Make it so, number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
Named the dog Indiana.
Life finds a way.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Now sit back and crack open a cold one, because it's time for Beer with Geeks.
It comes in paints?
Shaken, not stirred.
Great Scott!
I was way off. I knew it started with an S, though.
Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, the podcast where we finally talk about Star Wars.
Finally.
Yeah, it's happening.
We waited so long.
41 episodes. It's time. It is time to bring on the Star Wars.
It is high time. We are drinking Heineken.
Because sometimes we are not manly men.
Well, there was a party and we had a couple mini kegs of Heineken. There was one left over. And we figured this will supply Beer with Geeks for a while. So.
Yes, it will. So
here it is.
Good old Heineken. I actually do like. I enjoy Heineken. I like the Heineken.
Yeah. I got nothing against it.
No, actually, when I was in last year, 2 years ago, I was in Greece in Italy, and there's only two kinds of beer you can get there. And one is Mythos, which is like from Greece, and the other is Heineken.
Okay, there you go.
And so Heineken was like my Mythos is terrible beer.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's awful. Yeah, it's gross. It's like O'Doul's, but not even worse than that.
Oof. Yeah.
And so Heineken was our like savior while we were there.
Got it.
Yeah. So this is how we're going to do Star Wars. This is 2015 is the year of Star Wars.
Year of Star Wars.
And so with the movie coming out in Episode 7, The Force Awakens coming out in December, Frank and I are going to do film commentary on all the episodes of Star Wars leading up to Episode 7.
Yes.
And so
the year is, it's perfect. That there's 6 Star Wars movies and 12 months in a year. We'll just space it out and we'll give you one every other month or so. And before you know it, it'll be time for Episode 7.
Yep, exactly. And because we're leading up to Episode 7, we're going to watch the films chronologically.
Yes.
And so we're going to start with Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Now, before you go getting your lightsaber in a knot, I
would like to see that lightsaber, actually.
Before you get your shorty robe in a bunch, we're going to, we are positive. We try to keep things positive on Beer with Geeks, right? We try not to go to a negative place. Try to keep things happy and upbeat and positive, and look for the good things, and try to look for the stuff we enjoy. We happen to grow up in the generation where Phantom Menace was a highly anticipated movie because we grew up watching the original trilogy, the classic trilogy, but we also grew up watching the prequels, almost as much. So while I do prefer the original trilogy a little more, I actually do find a lot to enjoy in the prequel films, as much as I acknowledge they're not as good films by far as the original trilogy are. Yeah. I think you feel mostly the same way. You enjoy these. You find value. You enjoy
mostly the same way. But because I grew up, I didn't really grow up on Star Wars the way that you did per se. I watched Episode 4, A New Hope, Star Wars.
Yep.
When I was little, it was taped off a TV.
Same.
All that. But then that was it. That was the only one we had in the house. And so as far as I was concerned, Star Wars was just Star Wars.
That was the only one I owned for a long time too.
Yeah.
And I had seen Empire and Jedi, but I only owned that one and for a long time, and then I saw this movie. So
and I didn't even see them in order. I saw A New Hope, then I saw Jedi, then I saw Empire. It's the same problem I had with Harry Potter.
That's
right.
right.
I read Sorcerer's Stone, then I read Azkaban, then I read Chamber of Secrets.
Right.
Same thing with Star Wars. And so I've got this very disjointed like notion of the original trilogy in my mind. The reason I'm such a big Star Wars fan is, one, because I had a friend in middle school who was like super Star Wars.
Got it.
Super Star Wars guy. Still is. Nice guy. But he was like reading all the books and playing all the video games and all that. And he kind of like, because he loved it so much, and he lived like, I used to ride my bike to his house. He lived super close to me. I would just like, I kind of got wrapped up in that Star Wars world with him.
I see.
And so when he would like explain things to me, like from the expanded universe, now Legends.
Yes.
Yeah. And so like all that, like years before we saw Mustafar and Vader and Anakin. I mean, and Anakin and Obi-Wan battling, he would be like, yeah, they battle over a volcano and that's how he gets started and all that stuff. Like he was the guy that told me all that.
Right.
And so, and he's the one that I saw Phantom Menace with for the first time and all this stuff. And so, to me, the prequels are one of those things. Besides him, the prequels are the thing that keeps me in Star Wars. So, sometimes when I think Star Wars, my mind sometimes jumps to the prequels.
Sure.
Because they had that much of an influence over me.
Got it.
Yeah, and like you, there are things that I definitely don't like about the prequels.
Sure.
But there are a lot of things that I
Me
really
too. Yeah,
do
there's a lot that I enjoy. There's a lot that I enjoy. So we say all that to say we are starting with the Phantom Menace, and we hope you'll stick with it with us and listen and enjoy. We're going to work our way through the prequels and then get to the original trilogy, and we're gonna have fun just watching Star Wars, man.
Yeah, and Star Wars is one of the things that Frank and I like have united over the years. We were talking before we recorded that it's like, that's right, this is one of our things. Yeah, like Star Wars is where we come at an equal playing field.
We should get into that. But let's get the movie. Let's
started. Get going. Yeah,
and we'll get into some of this stuff. So we have the movie queued up. Went through the menus and everything, and we hit play and then immediately hit pause. So I have the 20th Century Fox logo, not the one that actually starts the film, but like kind of the one they put on the DVD and Blu-ray releases. So that very first 20th Century Fox logo is on my screen right now. I hit pause immediately, so my counter on my player says 0 across the board. If you are planning to watch it with us in sync, I suggest doing the same thing. Hit play on the menu and then immediately hit pause, so you're zeroed out like we are. And I'm going to count us in, and we're going to hit play. And then if you've done it right, you should be in sync with us, at least close enough that you can deal with us giving some commentary. We have it muted, but you can listen with the sound in the background if you want.
Yep.
So here we go in 3, 2, 1, play. And you got 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment up on the screen, and going back to 0, and we should there's the THX logo coming up. So we're getting started here.
I love this THX.
The redone one.
The redone one with the storm and the glass. It's just that's cool. Actually, when the glass forms into the THX, it reminds me of Terminator 2.
I think it's supposed to. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh,
I think so.
That's exactly what it. It's what makes me think every single time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. That THX sound is so legendary now.
Yeah, it is. I can't do it justice. I am gonna miss the 20th Century Fox opening really bad.
I know, me too.
Yeah, I hope that at least Disney plays something similar.
I know,
because When You Wish Upon a Star is not going to cut it for me.
Not quite, not for this. As much as I love When You Wish Upon a Star, it's just not a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. It's not the same. It won't be the same if they. Now, I did see. That was probably out of sync from the actor. People who were listening with sound.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. I did hear maybe a year and probably not long after the Disney acquisition. I heard. I think it was on Star Wars podcast. You and I both listened to Rebel Force Radio. Mm-hmm. At that time, it may have still been the Force cast, but I think that there is an old Disney kind of fanfare that was only used like a few times for a very short time, maybe during like
it was
World
a
War
Mickey
II or
Mouse
something.
cartoon. Yeah,
yeah. That is kind of similar. It's like a March fanfare type of thing. That would be like if they wanted to dust that off and bring it out, it actually would probably fit pretty well.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Wouldn't be the same, obviously.
No. I remember going to see the Clone Wars movie in theaters, the one that was released by WB. And I remember seeing the WB intro before. You know what I'm talking about? The Clone Wars series? They released the first
movie
3 episodes as a movie.
I don't remember it being WB.
There's a WB intro before it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I swear to the good Lord.
Really?
The Force. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I would remember that, but okay.
Yeah, I distinctly remember it because I remember thinking, wow, it's like the competitor. But it's so weird to watch it not be Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just gotta say, I love that Star Wars starts in space every time.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool. I also like the design of the ship here where it's not like, it's a set, but it looks like all the other Star Wars for all those years. You know,
it does.
We always think super shiny with the prequels, but like inside, it's very much like all these blinky lights on the TV that serve no purpose. Like, that's classic Star Wars.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
I'm remembering this movie was shot on film.
Yes, it was.
And it showed, like you see the grain and everything, and it feels like film. At least so far, because we haven't gotten to a lot of the digital stuff. But from what I hear, one of the big things, and we'll get into this probably more when we do Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith for that matter, but we always talk about how much CG there is in these newer films.
Yeah.
And that there definitely is, right? And we've definitely seen the blue screen and the green screen and how very much of it there was.
Yeah. But I think that was the push because it was like, well, we could do with this technology. No one was pushing
absolutely
sets. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I've been reading more and more where people are like, actually, you'd be surprised at how much like there was that was practical effects. It just, a lot of it like mixes with the CG that there is, and it kind of all looks like it might be fake, or more of it looks like it might be fake than it actually is. But there's more practical effects than you might think, and that's as specific as I've heard. No one's like been like, oh yeah, that one thing you definitely think is CG. It's not.
Yeah, right.
I didn't hear any specific.
Yeah, but this is all set work, right?
Well, I mean, right here,
this is all. But that's you know what I mean. But you think CG the whole time, but it's really not.
I mean, these two characters are
dudes in suits.
Well, yeah, right. I mean, that's if you've watched the DVD extras for this movie, you've seen how they developed the like animatronic / sort of puppet / prosthetics.
Yep.
For the Nemoidians. TC-14. Did you ever play the Phantom Menace video game?
Yes.
I had it on the PC, and then later I had it on PlayStation. And that was a pretty fun game.
It was. I played a different game.
Oh, okay. Well, there were a few. There
was the pod racing game.
Pod racing game. I had that
cool.
too.
Yeah,
I had that too. Yeah. A few years late, probably between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, I went on a real Star Wars binge, and like I went to like my local GameStop and bought like old original PlayStation games that were like all like the pod racing game and the one that was just called Phantom Menace. And a couple other Star Wars games, and I played like that entire summer. I just played Star Wars video games all day, every day. I feel like
I played Jedi Power Battles a lot. That was the one that my friend had.
I had that one too. Yeah.
That game was awesome.
Yeah, that was a fun game.
Yeah, I played Plo Koon all the time.
Oh yeah.
All the time was that or Qui-Gon. I love Qui-Gon so much.
Yes.
So very much.
Qui-Gon is great in that game.
Yeah. Was the ending spoiled for you? Did you know he was going to die before going to see the movie because of the soundtrack?
No.
See, I did.
Missed that.
Yeah,
I missed that.
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah, I wasn't so into Star Wars at that time that I was like, let me get the soundtrack before the movie comes out. Like, in fact, I'm still not the kind of person who gets the soundtrack before the movie comes out.
I usually don't get the soundtrack before the movie comes out. But since this movie, I've really learned to avoid looking at the track listings because they can be potentially spoilery. Yeah. Force push. First time ever.
I'm noticing
Force push.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, we'd seen Yoda lift the X-wing.
Yeah, we've seen it come towards people. But we've never seen them push anything. Closest you might get is when Luke throws the rock in Return of the Jedi to close the gate.
We saw him grab stuff, like grab his lightsaber.
Yeah. But you've never seen them push anything away from them. It's
not
always
like
come
that.
towards them.
Not like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really striking me
going through a door. Yeah.
Right. But it's really striking me how much of a difference it makes that this movie was shot on film. That it's now close to 16 years old.
Yeah.
Which also makes a difference, and just like different film stock, older movies look different. It just
looks older.
It looks
already.
older, and it doesn't look like
the other. It doesn't look like the original trilogy, but it actually fits into that aesthetic more than Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith. I agree.
I think that's because it's not shot on digital, and because of the age.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a combination of it having been shot on film and, well, I guess mostly really the fact that it was shot on film, and the cinematography is reminds me sort of Jedi.
Yeah, a little bit.
The Jedi in some ways. I think just like the dark and the lighting. Here's what I think. Again, keeping this in a positive light as much as possible. I think George Lucas has had the idea for Star Wars. It was a very much based on like Flash Gordon type of Saturday morning serials.
Absolutely,
And,
all of them feel like
adventure.
a Saturday morning serial.
Yeah. And I think he had that concept originally, and then he strayed from it a little bit. Like when you watch Star Wars, yes, it's very much a Saturday morning serial type swashbuckling adventure.
Yeah,
but the story overall is and isn't.
Yeah,
and I think in his mind, he was it's still very much this, but the rest of the world, that wasn't really what attracted everyone else to it. I mean, certainly many people did, and for many people, it was just like, oh man, this is a great movie. It has these swashbuckling serial aspects to it,
right?
But just it's its own thing. At least that's. I shouldn't say everyone thinks that. I don't think everyone thinks that, but it's for me. That's why I enjoy it. And I think he was still very focused on that. And when he came around to do the prequels, it is written the story of the prequels, like the plot of the three prequels,
much more Flash Gordon
is much more Flash Gordon. And one thing that I don't think George Lucas is very good at is writing dialogue.
No, he's not. He needs to get cleaned up a little bit.
Yeah, he needs somebody to clean up the script, and that didn't happen here. He wrote all three screenplays, and I think
though he ghost wrote Empire Strikes Back.
Well, Larry Kasdan
came in and cleaned up, but cleaned up his dialogue.
Yeah. I mean, he wrote the first pass, but I believe, and I can IMDb this real quick, but I believe it's credited. I think it's screenplay Lawrence Kasdan.
It is. Yeah, he was. That's why I say he's a ghostwriter, because it was supposed to be somebody else whose name I forgot, and then she died.
Oh.
And so he just like went in and like did it himself instead, because I guess they weren't really even happy with her version.
And the interesting thing is that I think Lucas actually says that Empire is in some ways his least favorite, which is interesting because it's universally like almost everybody considers that their favorite.
Yeah, it's true. Although not at the time that it came out, because it's so very tonally different than Star Wars. People went in expecting like another swashbuckling adventure,
and it's
kind of
the bad guys won.
It's exactly what it is. The day the bad guys won. Yeah,
but people were it's such a different time, and like nowadays people go into movies with big expectations. We read all the spoilers. We know what's going to happen. Back then, it was like you didn't know anything was going to happen.
Even people on set didn't know half the stuff that was going to happen.
Unless you read the novelization, which came out before the film, and that revealed that Vader was Luke's father. But
those novelizations are way inaccurate now. Like,
but those were based on
old
early version of the script,
screenplay,
and they were given
yeah.
some leeway to add their own details and stuff.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, in the Jedi book, I don't know if I've read them. I don't know if you ever have.
I have not. I have not. No, I read the first. I read the Star Wars one.
In Return of the Jedi, Uncle Owen and Obi-Wan are brothers.
Yes, I knew that.
Yeah,
yes,
it's like it's nuts how much is different now.
Yep. But anyway, I think that is sort of maybe the biggest problem with these films is that maybe George Lucas should have taken a back seat and said, you know what, Lawrence Kasdan or someone work on the screenplay. Here's the story. Here's where I want it to go.
Right.
Here are the plot points we have to hit. Like story by George Lucas, screenplay by Lawrence Kasdan or by someone else. I think would have made a huge difference in these films. There are some plot problems too, maybe, but I think that it wouldn't be as apparent if the script wasn't in some places really annoying. But again, like I don't always there are certain things that I remember and I'm like, oh, I hate this line that's coming up, like that kind of thing. Many people can't stand Jar Jar.
Yeah, I don't notice those things.
There's very few though for me where I'm like, there's specific scenes in. It's basically a lot of the Padme Anakin scenes in episodes 2 and 3.
Yeah,
where they're being all lovey. That's where I get annoyed.
I actually just heard something really interesting that Natalie Portman said that just recently after Star Wars almost ruined her career because nobody wanted to hire her based on her performances in these movies because she had such a hard time like getting around some of the more clunky dialogue, and so it actually did take a toll on her, and it took a lot of work for her to kind of build up again. Yeah. She was talking specifically about somebody that like helped her afterwards, and now I can't remember who it is, but someone like went to bat for her, and now I can't remember who it is. But that was what the question was really on. But see, I don't mind Jar Jar the way that other people do.
A lot of people cannot stand Jar Jar.
Oh, well, I knew. But
I mean, I see how he's annoying. I
think he's also supposed to be annoying.
Yeah.
But again, but if you ask like kids that like grew up with Jar Jar,
they either don't care or they love him.
Yeah, exactly. But there's no like hatred of Jar Jar in the younger generations.
For the most part, yeah. I mean, people.
But I can understand why people would think like C-3PO is also that kind of character. You know what I mean? He's a prissy robot butler. You know,
right?
Now I love C-3PO and R2-D2, but like it's in that vein.
Yeah.
It's not to forget that these movies are for kids. Like, regardless of what we've placed on them, they are movies for children. Yeah, and we saw them as children. We have to remember that.
Yeah.
First time we've ever seen anybody underwater.
That's true. Yeah.
It's really the one environment that we haven't seen in a Star Wars film yet, right here.
And they didn't really come back to it very much.
No, not really. But I remember being really captivated. Camino. Yeah, right. I love Camino. That might be one of my favorite planets, actually. But I was really captivated with this when I was a kid. The underwater city. Oh, yeah. That thing is so cool. The bubble thingy.
Yeah.
Even they're both like, whoa.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah. It's crazy how tall Liam Neeson is. And it like gets me every time because Ewan McGregor's not a short man. But every time he stands next to him, you're like, wow. Wait, so Liam Neeson's 6'4".
Yeah, he's a big guy. He's a big man.
Yeah, I do love the city, though. I feel like privacy is not a thing here.
No, clearly not. Everything's clear.
You can see into everything. Yeah.
I think you can very much because these movies were not what everyone wanted them to be. They have been scrutinized, and I think a lot of it not all of it. I'm not saying there's no problems with them at all, but I think that a lot of attention is paid to like let's look for everything that's wrong, and let's look for
let us look for things that are right.
That's kind of what I like. How I watch these movies is like. When I just watch these on my own, right? Like I just want to sit down and watch Star Wars. Like I just want to.
Yeah, I just want to watch Star Wars.
The story unfold. I kind of think of it. Really, I think of it as one big story, one big movie.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, in its own right, it's got like little pieces, but it's really. I mean, as much as you could claim, like the original trilogy is really about Luke. The entire saga is about Anakin. Yeah. It's not about Luke. Yeah. Yeah, and I saw it that way even since I was a little kid. I do like Boss Nass. I don't know what it is about Boss Nass that I like.
He's funny.
He is funny. We are going to give you the bongo. Apparently, George said...
Sorry.
Yeah, George said that you weren't supposed to understand everything that he says.
Yeah, I mean, that much is clear.
Yeah, well, I would have, it maybe would have been good to, see people confused in the movie because, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon are like, yeah, we got it. We're good. Yep, we understood everything. Either that or that's just, the Jedi training that's, stoic.
Well, just now even, he said...
Master, what's up with bongo?
Transport.
I hope. Yeah. Ewan McGregor kills it in these movies.
Yeah, he's maybe the most underrated piece of these films.
Oh, I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
His performance is layered. He's got Alec Guinness down to a T. It's that's what Alec Guinness would be like at that age playing this part. It's really, really well done.
Yeah, it's really well done. He shows the progression of his character from practically a kid to a wise, grown man who has learned in the ways of the Jedi. It's really well done. He becomes more and more Alec Guinness over the course of these films.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Really beautifully done.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, hello there.
Hello there.
And his uncle was Wedge.
Yes, I knew that. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, which is very cool.
Yeah,
I liked it. I wanted this Lego thing so bad of the bongo.
The bongo.
Yeah, the bongo. Yeah. Despite everyone being down on the seat, the CG in these underwater scenes, 15 years later, or how many years later?
16, yeah.
16 years, it's still good.
In this movie, yeah.
I've seen no, I mean the underwater scenes specifically, but like that.
Yeah, no, that's you're right.
All of this with the giant fish, that's really good.
It's very good. I find that in some parts later in the film and in Attack of the Clones in particular.
Yeah, something about Attack of the Clones.
It looks dated.
It does. I think green screen looks dated more than anything when it's completely CG'd, where you can just tell they're not in a real room. It can it just feels something's not quite right. But I mean, this, getting attacked by the fish and then the bigger fish, and it's just so named the technical terms, the big fish and the bigger fish. Yeah.
There's always a bigger fish.
Yes, there is. Oh, so cool.
Yep.
It's what Avatar 2 and 3 and 4 are going to be like this right here.
Yeah, they're still Avatar 2 is still being planned, right?
Right? They're filming soon, actually, I think, yeah.
I'll reserve my thoughts for that for a different day.
Yeah, I don't know. You can't disagree that those films are visually and technically stunning.
Yeah. I just wish it had a story, but anyway.
It does. It's the story of Pocahontas.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it does. That's it. I like this Sidious up front. I like this, it's funny when you're watching it as a kid where you're like, well, that's obviously Emperor Palpatine. It's not a question.
No.
Oh, really?
Not with episode 1.
Oh, really?
Not with episode
I heard
1.
him talking in the robe. I'm like, oh, that's Emperor Palpatine. It's not a non.
Sorry. Emperor Palpatine. Yeah, yes, I knew it was the Emperor. Sorry, I didn't realize that Senator Palpatine was the Emperor.
Oh, really? This was
in this movie.
Oh, really?
When I was 10 years old.
Oh.
I didn't realize
because I'd only seen super advanced mind at 12 must have been able to figure it out.
Well, I had only seen Jedi maybe once or twice before I saw this.
Oh, okay. So the Emperor wasn't really a thing.
I knew the Emperor, and I was like, oh, that's the Emperor. Like when we saw the hologram just now.
Yeah.
When I was 10, I was like, yes, that's the Emperor. But when you see
Palpatine, it
Senator Palpatine.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that was the same guy.
Oh, okay.
Until episode 2, I was a little older then, and I had seen all the films many more times.
Got it.
And I was like, oh, wait, oh, I get it.
Got it. Okay.
A little slow on the uptake, but I got it.
I just love how well the aging worked for him.
It was perfect.
It was perfect. A man in his 30s playing a man in his 80s.
Yeah.
Moving up to a man in his 60s, 50s, 60s, going and play, like watching that progression. Oh yeah, it was crazy good. This is some really nice direction right here. Like that's, look at that. Thebes is Thebes?
It is.
Yeah.
That's
Thebes. That's it. Thebes was Greece, right?
Oh, Thebes.
Yeah.
That's what we called each other.
I just watched that at Fred's episode.
So did I, actually.
Like, I literally just
I watched it like
it
a week or two ago.
That's funny.
Yeah, I actually just going back.
Victory. That is a quote I say to myself
Me
more
too.
than I should.
Me too.
Yeah. Actually, there's a lot of stuff in this movie that it is classic. Actually, this right here, this is a deleted scene of them like going off a waterfall. If you notice that the ship's kind of moving back a little bit, so he's like, he gets up and looks around and he turns, and the cutscene is them like they're going for a waterfall. Yeah. This is gorgeous. This is in Italy.
Yeah. Our have you been there? Our friend Andrew has been there.
Andrew's been there. Yeah.
I couldn't remember if you've been there too. Yeah, this palace is it's a real palace in Italy, and our buddy Andrew was there, and he was like, "Wait, why does this all look familiar?"
And
then
Queen Keira Knightley.
That's right. That's right. Which I also didn't notice the first time I was watching.
I didn't either. Actually, I really
didn't notice it wasn't the same person.
Yeah, she does a really good Amidala accent.
Well, it's
dubbed. Is it dubbed over?
Yeah, it's.
Oh, I just assumed Keira Knightley was that good of an actress.
No.
Oh,
she's just lip syncing.
It's kind of ruined it for me.
It's
okay, but I like her Birds outfit.
They had
that
Natalie
going on
Portman
right
do
now.
ADR.
Oh, it's cool.
But like with the makeup on, and when you're watching it for the first time, and
don't
Natalie
notice-
Portman is an unknown actress at the time.
Yes, that's right. You're not looking for her face.
No, you're just like you think you're seeing the same person.
Yep.
That's pretty well
because
done.
you're really not looking at her at all in there.
Right. But then once you know, and you're like, oh, Natalie Portman is right there. Look at that. She's standing right next to her in like every shot.
I always liked when Qui-Gon put his lightsaber away like that way. Like, what if he moved too fast?
Yeah, I know.
And like
And
he
they,
just
like,
like stabbed himself. Like, no, he's Qui-Gon Jinn. He's too good for that. Qui-Gon Jinn. Actually, Liam Neeson recently said he would be open to coming back and doing a Qui-Gon prequel.
I know.
Or something like that. Yeah, just like something Qui-Gon.
Or be a Force ghost or something. Like, yeah.
Well, that's why he was on Clone Wars. Because he's like, to me, these are like the cowboys that I grew up with.
Yeah.
And so if this is what kids want and I give them a good example, then I'll certainly keep doing it. I'm like, keep doing it, Qui-Gon Jinn. Yeah. Because this was really, I mean, Liam Neeson was certainly a known entity, but he wasn't like he wasn't like the Liam Neeson that we have today. No.
I mean, Natalie Portman is right there.
Yeah, she's standing right there. Where's the Force now? Oh, yeah. So funny.
You didn't sense this in the Force, you guys?
I know. I don't think the Force is interested in things like this.
You didn't sense this.
Yeah. Well, that's why I mean, like, these, like, the Jedi have lost their way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, arguably Luke Skywalker is the one true Jedi. Maybe Qui-Gon Jinn.
Well,
I would argue that Qui-Gon is really like the one true Jedi.
Yes and no.
Because even Master Yoda hasn't sensed these things.
No, it's
you know
true.
what I mean? And Obi-Wan, and like they are flawed characters.
But Qui-Gon was the first one to think that. Well, I don't know. I mean, like he sensed that Anakin was the chosen was the
that's
the one,
true.
the
So maybe
prophecy.
he's flawed in a little bit of the other direction.
They're all flawed. I think that the bottom line is they're all flawed because the plot to destroy the Jedi was already in place. Right. So the fact that none of them sensed it, yes, I mean they're all flawed. But Qui-Gon definitely has a a step above a lot of them. He has an advantage over most of them. I think you could definitely make that argument.
Yeah.
And if maybe if Qui-Gon had lived longer, maybe then he could have prevented or at least become aware of what was going on.
Yeah, I think Anakin would have been trained very differently because Obi-Wan went directly from being a Padawan to being the teacher.
Right.
There's not even this like in between space where he gets to like learn as a Jedi.
No.
He's not a Jedi master. He's just a Jedi.
Right.
So it's just the kid was almost kind of set up to fail.
Yeah.
In his own weird way. Yeah. Do you remember the soda cans with all the Star Wars characters on them? Like collect them all.
I forgot about those.
I used to collect those.
Oh,
I had them all. Yeah. I wanted to have them all, but I had a lot. And actually, it's funny. The captain here, his name, it's not Panaka. It's
it is Panaka.
No, Panaka's the security.
Captain.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly where I am right now. So you look it up. I'm going to talk about R2. I was so happy, even as a 12-year-old, to be like, this is what R2 was actually supposed to do.
Yeah,
like this is the job that he had.
That's Panaka.
Yeah.
But he is a captain.
Yes, he is. I think so. Yeah.
I don't know what this guy's name is. I'm thinking of something else.
I like R2's job is always just to like put this socket wire back in this place, or like turn this knob. Oh, you fixed it.
He's like a mechanic.
Yeah. But he's like the thing that fixes it is always like the most simple thing. You can just like turn a thing.
Yeah.
And then you're good.
Like, oh, you know what we called droids in my day? A wrench.
Yeah, right. Yeah, really. I would really love to see a Star Wars episode or a comic or a movie or something of like
about R2.
No, of Emperor Palpatine sitting in his office doing the budget. Can you?
It sounds like a Robot Chicken.
I know, but can't you just imagine? I'm like, oh my god, this Death Star is so expensive.
Well, he made it. They make a joke about it in one of the Robot Chicken things. Like, do you have any? What the whole thing?
Yeah, I know. Right? Do
you have any idea what this can do to my credit?
Oh yeah, so much money, but. I like that he's sitting down at the conference table with them. He's like,
gentlemen, let me sit here with you in an organized manner.
Yes.
Civilized manner. But we are going to sit at the end of the table so you know that I'm busy.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I also want to know, like, when he signals Darth Maul, which, by the way, is one of the most exciting parts of the movie.
Oh, yeah, it's right there.
Like, what a great design.
My apprentice, Darth Maul.
Dun, dun, dun. You will find your lost ship.
Yeah. Darth Maul was sadly maybe underused.
I think so.
But
no, I think George Lucas felt that way because he brought him back for Clone Wars.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. It was like one of those like, oh, I made a boo-boo. Yeah. Shouldn't have killed him.
By the way, spoilers for Clone Wars. Spoilers for anything that's happened in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Clone Wars has been over for over a year now. If you haven't seen it,
it's on Netflix. And actually, I haven't.
We
even
won't
watched
spoil
all
Rebels, but
I haven't even watched all of Clone Wars. I can't spoil most.
I have
of
a few episodes left.
I'm still in season 2.
Oh no!
So I just knew that Darth Maul came back because of commercials and stuff and internet. Yeah. R2-D2, Your Highness.
R2-D2. It's I like that they had him say it like.
Yeah,
this is a foreign name to me.
Yeah, I've never heard these letters or numbers before.
Yeah. When they said we're heading for a remote planet called Tatooine, were you like, yes?
Yeah. You're like, I know what that is. I know. I like that this backwater planet of nothingness.
Yeah, is like the most important.
It's the most important planet in the galaxy. Yeah.
Yeah. I love. I mean, it's well done. It reminds me of how like in like Star Trek or like in really any like sci-fi movies like or like in the DC universe like Earth was at the center of it all.
Yeah, right.
It's like Earth is always like the linchpin that. In this case, it's like Tatooine is like the Earth of the galaxy.
Yeah, that's an excellent way to look at it. Tatooine is the linchpin. So lens flare. Years before J.J. Abrams. I like that we were both like, oh my god, lens flare.
Well, this is why. I mean, this is one. Oh, okay, wait. I'm going to take a moment here. The captain, whatever his name is, in that shot, is from a different take of that scene. Than I believe both Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. Then he was digitally reinserted. So they have they liked the way he looked in one take, and they liked the way that
they looked in another take. So
wow. And I in one of the making of documentaries that are on the discs, you see Lucas like going over it with somebody.
Wow.
And it might have been Frank Oz, or I forget who it was, but it was just going over and being like, "Oh, look what we can do."
I like the way that he looks.
Or maybe it might have even been Ben Burt, because Ben Burt did the edit. I don't know. Whoever it was. It was like, wow, it's amazing we can do this technology now. We can just be like, well, I like this take and that take, so we're going to put them together. And it's done seamlessly.
Yeah, you can't tell.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been doing that in movies for years. I mean, the Hobbit movies. Like Christopher Lee wasn't there for any of the scenes that he's in.
Right.
They filmed him in London while everybody else was in New Zealand because the man's 91.
But this is 1999.
Yeah, that's great.
Filmed in 98, but you know what I mean? Like we're talking that was very cutting edge.
People forget how cutting edge even the prequels were.
Yeah.
For digital and cinema technology.
Mm-hmm.
Like really, really cutting edge even at this time.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Do you know when it's funny, even when it was like it's controlled by the Hutts, that's like, who knew that they were that powerful?
Right.
I mean we knew Jabba lived in a palace, but
we
still
had some idea. And I'm sure in the novels, in the expanded universe, I'm sure there is probably plenty about the Hutts, but if you're only going on the films, this is much needed background information. To see Tatooine like this, I wish I had been older the first time I saw this movie.
Why?
Because I think I would have felt like a sense of nostalgia, being like, oh my god, there it is. There's
Tatooine.
There's Tatooine. Even though like we didn't see this, it feels like Mos Eisley.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I agree. Although it actually is really. Oh, look, it's Andrew. Anakin. Yeah,
Anakin, yeah.
And so, no, I agree. I didn't have that sense of nostalgia really either. I think we're definitely going to have it for episode 7.
Absolutely.
I mean, we kind of had it in the trailer a little bit. We were like, a desert planet. It must be Tatooine. I'm so excited.
I had it with Revenge of the Sith. At the end,
actually, I did too.
Last shot of that movie.
Well, that's a gorgeous shot, really, with the two suns setting, binary suns,
binary sunset, and the Force theme comes up, and you see them looking off into the sunset, and it's like, I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah, I agree.
I was.
Anakin's got game, by the way. Despite anything you say about how weird and clunky the dialogue is and the weird pickup line, like he's getting a girl that's like 5, 6, 7 years older than him to be like, oh hey little boy, you're kind of cute.
Yeah,
like which might say a lot about her.
Well, here's the thing: this dialogue in this scene, I think, is fine. It's just he still talks that way to her when
he's 10 years later. He's now 18 and he's talking exactly like that.
But
I like that he gets mad.
Yeah,
like in the very first scene,
he has pride. He has anger about
right in the very first scene. It's actually one of those like things that you don't think about the first time, but it's like he's right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is the same person. He's really not this. I mean, he is a cute little kid, but he gets defensive, which I think is really the arc of him like being a slave to like fighting to be free just to end up a slave.
Yeah.
Truly, like you don't think about it that way either, but this whole movie is really about him yearning to be the freedom of the Jedi.
That's true.
Which he ends up hating the confinement in which he finds himself, yearning to be free again, and then he's confined by the dark side and Palpatine.
That's right.
So he is consistently a slave to somebody his whole life.
That is really good. That's a good observation. I never thought about it quite that way.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. He's always wanting to be free, but he's always beholden to something or somebody. He's always a slave to something or to somebody.
That's right.
He's
never ever truly free until the end of Jedi.
Very end of Jedi.
Until he picks up Palpatine and chucks him. That's his moment of absolute freedom. But before that, that's like probably the first decision he's ever really made as a free man.
Yeah.
Nutso.
Wow. Yeah, that's good. That's like Star Wars philosophy with Tim here.
Yeah, right? I know. I came up with that all by myself, too. Aren't you proud?
Good work.
I'm glad to meet you, too. That's how I talk to girls at bars.
Yeah.
I'm glad to meet you, too.
I'm going to philosophize about Star Wars.
Now, yeah. That's fine. I don't talk to girls at bars. I can't hear anything in there. So damn loud.
I just want to go to bed at 10.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, you're making too much damn noise.
Oh, man.
Just a few containers of supplies. I am so freaking cool, even with my rat ponytail. Yeah, the Padawan cut I never liked. Though I do like that now. That I do like the blade, the braids that Boba Fett has on his armor look like Padawan braids.
Oh yeah,
not yeah. When I saw this movie and then like subsequent movies with braids, I was like, so not Wookiee. Yeah, because you would think about it. This is other movies, but he's kind of got a vendetta against Jedi.
Sure.
So, which would make sense. So, yeah, which is cool. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. He messed with the wrong guy.
Sebulba.
Oh, no.
I like the design for Sebulba a lot.
He is such a gross...
It's a gross alien.
Gross creature.
Yeah, with his little like mustache tendril thingies, like on the sides. What do they even do? They're so gross. Kind of looks like a weird reptilian horse.
Yeah,
from the front.
Sort of. I don't know what to like. I would love to know what the character design inspiration was for Sebulba. Like, is he part like what are they trying to emulate?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious how much I should. I mean, I could look into this. I'm sure I know the books exist, but like, how much of the designs of these ships are Ralph McQuarrie like influenced from right from the beginning, like unused designs by McQuarrie, kind of thing? Because his original designs were very sleek.
Yes,
and so in like the original, like the X-wings are a lot chunkier than his original design. His
original designs were all very thin.
Yes, the X-wings from Episode 7 that we see in the trailer. Yes. Those are the original McQuarrie designs.
Ones,
yes. It's
a lot. There's a few things from McQuarrie in
Episode I think the ball droid is even McQuarrie, actually.
I don't know about that.
I think somebody said that. I mean, I never checked the fact, so I could be wrong.
But like the matte paintings and stuff, or like the backdrops are
all McQuarrie.
Or largely.
Concept art,
Yep.
So I've always liked this lady. I don't know why. Oh, Storm, my bones are hurting. And like, I like that they just bring the droid for some reason. Like, he really has no purpose to be there. I guess he would drag the hyperdrive, I guess, but he doesn't because they have the camel thingies.
Right.
So he's just kind of there.
Yeah, that's true. Just there because the script said so.
Yeah.
That is a problem that I do see with a little bit, is that sometimes things happen just because. Like, there's no real reason. Sometimes it's just like, well, the script said so.
Yeah, I agree. Although, I mean, I could think of a lot of movies outside of this one that had that problem. Yeah. So
these are my friends, Mom. You just met them. You are
these
so lonely.
These are my strangers. Yeah.
You are so lonely.
Why, poor kid's slave. Just don't touch my hand. Archie's like, I'll come too because I have no reason for being here.
Did you think that there was going to be some kind of romantic entanglement between Qui-Gon and Shmi?
Yeah, it's just like I like that little thing up there is like that little ball thrower thing for dogs up right above C-3PO. There's like a little like right there behind his head.
Oh yeah,
it's like one of those things.
Cross stick.
Yeah, it looks like kind of, but
you know what
I'm talking about.
I do.
It's like you put a little ball in it, and you just chuck it. Yeah, it just always amused me. Oh, he's so naked.
He's perfect.
Oh, perfect.
I'm building a pod racer. That's the only time they're called pod racers. Everybody else calls them pods.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, wow, that's a good observation. I
just noticed that for the very first time.
Yeah, a pleasure to meet you. I'm C-3PO.
Human cyborg relations. Already off to a good start. These two.
Yeah. Oh. Their chemistry is amazing. Considering they're both like contained in something, they had amazing chemistry together.
And they didn't like each other in real life.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that
Anthony
sad?
Daniels is actually apparently very rude to Kenny Baker a lot. Like, really rude.
That's sad. He might have gotten great pleasure of kicking R2. Yeah.
Take that to a weight club grease.
Yeah, really. I don't know. I did, but going back to that Shmi Qui-Gon thing, there really is like this chemistry between them.
Yeah, and so much so that I thought they were setting something up there.
Yeah, and just nope. Oh, first time we see Coruscant.
That's right.
Well, technically it's the second because in the 97 release you see it at the end when they bring down the statue, but and a dubbed Ray Park.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I have a friend that grew up part of his life in London, and he's a gymnast and went to the same gym as Ray Park.
Oh, that's so cool.
And one day he shows up and he hasn't seen Ray in a couple weeks, so he's like, "Where's Ray?" And a guy at the gym was like, "Oh, he's filming Star Wars."
Oh man.
He's like, "Oh my god."
Oh, that's so cool.
How cool is that?
You know that Ray Park...
Have some blue milk.
You know that Ray Park trains with Daniel Logan, who played young Boba Fett.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They train together.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah, isn't it?
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I
they're
had
like
no
buddies
idea.
now.
That's cool. That's very cool. Ray Park seems like a very nice man.
Ray Park does seem like a cool guy.
Yeah. I've never, anybody who ever talks about him, he's just really like unassuming. Like, really
I've never heard
nice
any interviews
man.
with him really.
No.
I'd like
he's really a stunt man.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you don't really, but I mean, he played Toad in X-Men too.
Yeah, I mean,
he actually, this year for him, 99, 2000.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Because
Was
X-Men, yeah.
quality years because X-Men was 2000.
Yeah.
But he was also the Headless Horseman in Sleepy Hollow.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow. So, like, these were like primo years for him. Yeah, he was right on it.
Yeah, that was a good time in his life.
I hate that they call it a laser sword. Like, there's something about it.
Laser sword.
I mean, I get it, and because he's a little
why
kid and
Anakin
stuff,
would say
but-
that. You know what I don't get? Why George Lucas says it sometimes.
I know, he says laser sword a lot. And I'm like, it's not a laser sword, it's a lightsaber. You made it up. I know.
It's funny.
Faster, more intense. Yeah. That's perfect.
Yeah, I do think it's interesting that they're setting up Anakin very early on to be sort of wise and intuitive.
Yeah, he asks a lot of questions.
He has a lot of intuition. He has he kind of, senses things. Clearly very force sensitive early on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he would have been found a lot, maybe like 4 years earlier, maybe a little less than that. But
had he not been a slave, you mean, or in the outer rim?
Yeah, had he not been in the outer rim.
Yeah.
Because he's too old to begin the training. Too old. Yeah, exactly.
Mine!
Yeah. Bunta Eve. I would really like to know what Bunta is.
Yeah, I want to know what Poodoo is, personally.
I think we know what Poodoo is.
Yeah, I know. I just really want,
There's an emoji.
I want to know.
There's an emoji for it. I'll send it to you.
Oh, great. Thanks. Thanks.
Now imagine you are a parent of a child who has a deadly hobby.
Yeah, it's like, if only my son just did drugs.
Yeah.
But no.
Mom, I love drag racing.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I love drag racing. This is
that people gamble on.
This is Lucas's hot rod 50s influence.
Absolutely.
All this right here.
This is American Graffiti influence here. Yeah.
Grease.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be wicked funny if you go to the side of the pod racer and on the side it's just like grease lightning. Oh yes, slave lightning. Yeah. Oh,
Ron Howard is driving one of the cars.
Oh yes, that would be amazing.
Oh man,
it would be great. See, I love the little Jawa in the corner, just like all these little. It's just like little things like that. Star Wars is so good at filling the corners of the screen with stuff. You can look anywhere and wonder what's happening. Yeah, I like how Qui-Gon has to duck his head.
I know.
He's just too tall for his own good.
That's the fact that there's something going on in every corner of the screen. That's world building. That's this is a galaxy. There is a lot going on here. Because that's just how life is. There's stuff going on in the background. It's realistic.
That's why these movies end up being so successful, because your eye, even subconsciously, knows
you're drawn in because it feels real, even though there's no way it could possibly be real.
Yeah, I agree. There's just something there. I mean, Jackson did it with Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and it's just filled to the brim with stuff. Everywhere, and something that other movies really struggle to emulate. I think it just takes a lot of time and patience and money, and not everybody has that desire.
Yeah, it takes a lot.
Yeah. It really is sad that this movie sets up so much of Qui-Gon just to kill him.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Like,
I know.
really.
It does feel a little bit wasteful of the talent of Liam Neeson in a way.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that that's all we got of him. I wish we had gotten more. I do wish we had gotten that. Apparently what they were thinking about doing the Force Ghost scene with him.
Yeah. Well, there was an audio problem or something. There's like some. There was. I remember just hearing recently, and I wish I could remember. This is bad radio. That it was even filmed and stuff, and there was like.
Now that's not confirmed.
Yeah, but there was.
But I have heard that
there was a problem with the way that it worked, so they had to it just didn't.
I think it. Okay, one thing I'd heard was that it didn't fit the flow. Like some of the dialogue didn't make sense with some of the changes they made.
Yeah. Maybe that was it. Yeah.
So it just didn't flow anymore, and it broke things up too much. I don't quite remember specific details, but yeah, it didn't work, so they pulled it. Not because they didn't want to put Liam Neeson back in, but because it didn't make sense. I think either either there were technical problems or from a story perspective, it didn't work anymore. But it's not confirmed. It's a rumor, and no one has really truly officially confirmed that was even ever shot. Yeah. We know it was written. We do know it was written, but we don't know if it was ever shot.
Got
for
it.
Sure.
Yeah, I just feel like I think everybody expected it, and it never came. And it was a little bit of a let. I remember being let down at the end of Revenge of the Sith because of that.
I mean, I definitely hoped for it.
But you know what? But he is in Clone Wars.
That's right.
So they did kind of get him there. Yeah. I feel like these movies really benefit from that show. Like, you could watch these movies on its own, but there's a lot of fleshed out material there.
It's true, but it's also... I mean, yes, it definitely fleshes it out a lot, but it takes a lot of attention to detail and a lot of remembering what happens in like 5 seasons of that show.
Yeah.
To be able to fully benefit from it. Like, there are times, like, you see Anakin and Dooku face off, and Dooku chops off Anakin's arm in episode 2,
right?
And then they see each other again in episode 3, and if you're just watching the films, you're like, oh wow, they haven't seen each other.
Yeah,
they haven't seen each other since that happened. And then you watch the show, and you're like, oh wow, no, they've met in between, and now this is, in some ways, it's like, oh wow, like I know everything that every encounter they've had. So it's still pretty tense, but in other ways it's like, oh, but it's not like the first time they're meeting since then anymore.
Yeah. But I mean, it's true. But honestly, even like if you figure how important they are to the war and how important Dooku is, you would assume that they probably would have met a couple of times. I don't know.
But you know that Rodian, who I believe is supposed to be Greedo.
Is it supposed to be Greedo?
I believe it is.
Oh, interesting.
But that's Warwick Davis.
Yes, I did know that. Yeah. Go to Warwick Davis. Being in Star Wars all the time.
And then Kitster, who we never saw again, the greatest character in all of Star Wars. Where's Kitster?
Well, was he a slave too? Because maybe he tried to run away and he got blown up.
Guys, I want to know where Kitster is. Where's Kitster?
Fanfic. Where's Kitster now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do it.
Star Wars, where are they now?
Kitster.
Qui-Gon Jinn, dead. Kitster.
Unknown. More exciting, arguably.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
They do a lot of work to this thing in a day.
Yeah, it's true.
They even clean it up real nice.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Spit shine it.
I love the way Padme interacts with Jar Jar.
Yeah.
She has like no patience for him at all. She's like, oh my God, I hate you so much. Yeah. I do like when his tongue gets numbed, though. I think it's funny.
Slapstick. It's good. It's funny. Yeah, it's slapstick.
I do like some good slapstick. Not all the time, but
yeah.
It's working. It's.
Oh, Jake Lloyd.
Yeah.
Oh, and Shmi is so sad. Like this is it. This is when he leaves me.
She gave a really wonderful performance. She really knew how to work this script.
Yeah.
Yeah. This always confused me, even as a kid, where he could he's like, I need an analysis of the blood samples. But so how does he transmit them through space?
Science. Yeah. It's technology. I don't know. How are there holograms and laser swords and?
That's true. Technically, that's just a lightsaber would just keep going. They wouldn't stop.
It's just
you're right. You're right.
Technology that they have in this universe, in this galaxy, and we shouldn't question it too much.
Do you think Qui-Gon gave him that cut so he could take a blood sample?
No.
All right, he just saw an opportunity.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I just thought about it right now. It's not like I wasn't sitting here like, oh, I wonder. It's a good thing.
I like how that's like a regular microscope, though.
Yeah, I also
it's like out of like a high school science lab.
I also like that the Nubian, cockpit has the capability to read midichlorians.
Yeah, it's true.
He's on the internet. It's fine. Yeah. There's an app for this.
It's the Internet of Things.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. There are just some things. Hey, but you know what? They made fun of technology years and years and years ago that were like, how is that possible to have a video call on your screen, on your TV screen, or on your watch? And here we are now.
I love that shot, right, as this ship lands. When it's coming in for the landing, it looks like a TIE fighter. Yeah. And then it turns and you see the nose.
That's a great point. I've never thought about that
shot.
Never. I loved his. I had this interceptor.
Did you?
The Sith interceptor? Yeah, I had it as a Lego when I was a kid. Oh yeah,
as a Lego. Oh,
I always loved the binoculars in Star Wars.
Me too.
Just like, how cool is that?
I know.
They're really clunky binoculars, actually.
They are, yeah, but
Star Wars is clunky. I feel like it's filled with clunky things.
And I like the. Lucas has always said, like, it goes from everything's very sleek under the Republic, and people are big on design and these beautifully designed palaces and sleek ships and everything, and then the Empire, things are coarse and rough and industrial, and it's less about beauty and more about form over or function over form,
or not even it's not. Sometimes it's about like, think about like TIE fighters. They don't have like hyperspace. They don't have shields or hyperdrives or anything. They're like, we can make a lot of them. Go,
mass produced.
Yeah, but like but then you have the X-wings and B-wings and Y-wings that they all have hyperspace capability. They're arguably better ships.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
See, even the scene with the hangar, those are all like, that's not green screen. They're in a real place.
Oh yeah, no, this is practical.
Yeah.
Some of the, like, maybe the
giant racers behind them might not be real.
Some of that might even be, but I was actually going to say the what do you call those? The droids, the little pit droids, that are walking around. Those are CG, but but I think probably a fair amount of the set and the human characters a lot of them are in costume or whatever.
Yeah.
But the pit droids, I think, are the only thing I can see that I would say, and Watto, obviously.
Yeah. Right.
That I would say
Jar Jar's neck.
Yeah,
because it's a bodysuit.
Well,
sort of.
Yeah, it's half. They originally wanted it to just be a suit, and then they couldn't make it look real enough.
Right.
So his neck up is CG,
but the rest of it is a bodysuit.
But then his arms are clearly CG too. So they ended up basically just
going over him.
Going over Ahmed Best completely, and he's, I think, completely a CG character. But they just use Ahmed Best for reference.
Yeah. Poor Ahmed Best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, man. But, I mean, he could, flat out be like, oh, I was never in Star Wars. Nope. See, it's not me. Yeah. You can't tell. It's a CG character. I like these little camel things.
I know. I don't know what those are called.
Camel things.
Okay.
Yeah. Space sounds terrible.
Sounds like the worst, you guys.
Me on one of those dreadful starships, I guess. So much irony with C-3PO.
Yeah.
I love it.
Kitster.
Yeah, way to ruin it.
Come on, man. Have his back. He's trying to get the girl here.
Yeah, he is the worst wingman in the entire world. Her face right here, just like I hate all of you.
I want that just a reaction gif. Yeah, when people say things that I just can't stand, I just want to.
I can look. I will find it and I will send it to you.
I will find him.
Damn. Nice, good good other space movie reference. Yeah.
All right. Is this like the 35-minute version of the pod race? I think it is on the DVD.
Yeah, it is.
Oh well. I love this is Greg Proops.
Yeah, good old Greg Proops.
Yeah.
That's Whose Line Is It Anyway was huge at this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It's funny.
That's a miniature. The stadium.
It may have been actually.
It is. No, I know.
It is
for a fact, it's a miniature.
I never thought about that. Ben Quadraneros.
Good. Oh,
other. Kitster and Quadraneros. They should have.
Maybe they ran off together.
They should. Maybe. Ooh. But yeah, Greg Proops. I heard him on a podcast not long ago, and I was like, oh my god, it's
weird.
So
just
weird.
Listening to him.
It's so weird. Yeah. And I actually have there's somebody who I like work with very tangentially at work who I talk to on the phone sometimes, and he's on the phone he sounds like Greg Proops.
Oh, that's kind of weird.
And it messes with me so much.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Oh man. I really did like this. I like the pit droids a lot. I think they're hysterical, but
yeah, I mean they're fine. I have nothing against them.
Yeah. I really did. I mean, racing's really not my thing, so
right.
The pod race has never really done it for me.
Right.
But I did really like the pod racing video game.
Yes.
That game was fun.
Did you ever play the arcade version of that game?
Yeah.
Where you actually sit in
so fun. So much fun.
So fun.
So cool.
I used to play that at Dave & Buster's when I was growing up. That was really super fun.
Where do you think Anakin's flag design came from?
Honestly, don't know. All I know is that camel thing is farting.
There's a lot of poop jokes in this movie.
There are.
Yeah. But like I said, these movies are for kids.
Yep. That's right.
Yeah,
again,
it's just
what parent?
Yeah, she's like,
she's either
the world's worst parent or the world's best parent.
She's definitely the world's most supportive parent.
Yeah.
For better or for worse. Like, it's just, I can't understand how you could allow your child to do this.
Yeah, I agree. I think Anakin's pod racer has a huge design flaw where there's like this giant thing sticking out on the side where you can just pull it down.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
Your racer's broken.
Oh,
like,
okay.
That's a huge design flaw. But granted, he's 8.
Yeah.
He can't even get into it without Qui-Gon's help.
Yeah. But he rebuilt it out of old parts, out of spare parts.
Yeah.
So he didn't design it per se. He just, put together the parts.
That's true.
So whoever designed the original model of this that he then rebuilt using spare parts, dude, there's a lever on the side you can just pull down and break the whole ship.
Yeah.
Break the whole pod. Jabba.
There's something about Jabba's CG designs that just never look quite right to no. And nothing against CG Jabba per se. I just think that like to make him Bib Fortuna has been in Jabba's service for a long freaking time.
I was just gonna say that, but Fortuna's been there forever.
Like good lord, Bib Fortuna. I like Bib Fortuna. I like saying Bib Fortuna's lines over and over again.
They're fun.
He's fun to say. But yeah, long time. But Puppet Jabba was never green on the sides.
Right. I know.
And I just think that's odd that's like every time you CG him, that's what they go with.
I know, but he looks darker than that. I know, it's not quite right. He never looks quite right. He never looks like fat enough and sloppy enough. And
yeah, I want to know the point in between like episode 4 and episode 6 where Jabba really let himself go.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, right. Because even in Star Wars, he looks...
Because he grows like
this.
Almost like half his size. And then, yeah, it's crazy how different he looks.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Just
firing up the pods.
That pod race, the circle pod race always confused me. Like, you can't see.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No windshield? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, guy. This sequence does go on too long, though.
The startup seed. Yeah.
I mean, the whole pod sequence, I think, is too long.
Yeah, I agree.
In my opinion. And there's Warwick Davis again.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever seen him, actually.
You ever noticed he was there?
No, I never saw that before. Yeah. It would be funny if someone just smashed into Anakin all the way. That would be it.
That's it. Movie's over.
End of trilogy.
So now that you see Warwick Davis, you're never going to unsee him. He's a really funny, charismatic guy.
Yeah, he is. His show on HBO. HBO is hysterical.
Yeah.
With Liam Neeson in the first episode, actually.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's the one where Liam Neeson wants to do comedy. Have you ever seen it?
Oh, wait, you know what? I've seen that clip. I've seen other episodes of the show. I haven't seen that one, but I have seen that clip.
Oh, yeah. That one just, it's so funny. So funny. This is really well shot, I will say. Like all of that behind, like Tatooine behind them is really, really nice looking. You can see why people would live there.
Totally.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't live there, but
yeah, I mean, who wants water or you know,
one sun?
Yeah.
Wonder how hot those suns actually are that you can survive on a planet with two of them.
But look at the terrain; it's obviously pretty dry.
Yeah, but I mean, but they're just regular humans, and so they
can survive.
If it's double suns, you're assuming that you're basically doubling the temperature of.
But maybe they're far away enough that it's only a little bit hotter than one sun.
That could be. That's true.
You know
because if they're far enough away, there's two of them shining down. I didn't think about that. You're smart.
I'm sometimes kind of smart. Sometimes. This is always where I would lose the pod racing game right here, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I'd be that guy. Yeah.
I was that guy.
That was a huge explosion, by the way.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
no, it was a lot of fuel.
Yeah.
The Tusken Raiders.
I still love their design.
Who I still am inclined to call sand people.
Sand people, yeah. Sand people walk in single file to hide their numbers. Ah, yes. Oh.
Only Imperial Stormtroopers are so precise. Cut to a Stormtrooper not being able to shoot.
Yeah, I know. I know. They're so built up to not shoot straight at all. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, they win by sheer number, not by, firing accurately.
It's just it's the whole, put enough monkeys in front of typewriters, one of them will write Shakespeare.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's put enough stormtroopers who can't shoot in a room, and they'll kill the good guys.
Eventually, they'll shoot somebody. It's like the TIE fighter mentality. They'll shoot somebody, even if they don't blow up first. If there's enough of them, it's fine. I remember watching this, with him hit the chicken thing off the ledge.
Yeah.
On VHS when I got this, and because of the ratio aspect,
it was full screen.
Yeah, so you only saw one chicken, and I remember seeing two at dinner. We're like, no, what else am I missing? I didn't notice up until this point. Yeah.
It also, I don't remember if the VHS release had the full. So the theatrical release, I want to say, had a shorter version of this sequence of the whole pod race, of the race itself. And it was longer, I think, on the DVD. They put in the full sequence again. Or not the full sequence. The actual full sequence was literally a half hour long.
Oh, really?
The whole race was a half hour long. And they were just dude, you can't, a quarter of the movie can't just be this one scene. That's not...
Wow.
So they shortened it. But I think what we see on this release is longer than what was shown in theaters.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I believe.
Well, even the preparation to the race is extraordinarily long.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie and Attack of the Clones really could have combined into one movie.
Well, yeah, what I've always wanted to see, Topher Grace.
Yeah, I would love to see that version.
Topher Grace, if anybody doesn't know, the actor from Eric Foreman from that '70s show, a couple of years ago, wanted to learn film editing. He's been he still acts, but he's been getting to know the other side of the camera a little more, and he's been learning film editing. And the project he chose to teach himself how to really do it was to edit together all three of these films into one film. And just because he was well, here's something that I know the material really well, and there's a lot of material to choose from, and I can just cherry pick and put together one film. So he did essentially a fan edit where he condenses the prequels down to one film, and he showed it once, screened it once, and only once, and it's only ever been seen by anyone other than him that one time. and he'll never show it again because he wasn't doing it to like get in trouble with Lucasfilm or anything. He just wanted to do a little project for himself. So he screened it to a few friends, famously, and it's never been seen since. And he said it never will be seen again. He is very
adamant about that.
Yeah. So I would love to see that, though. I would love.
Yeah,
there are a lot of
all these hackers breaking into people's cell phones and computers. Right? Like, why can't you break in and get that for the internet? Let's go. Like,
I would love to see that movie. I would love to see him work with Lucasfilm, with Disney, to get that out there as a fan edit. Now there are sites that have some very good fan edits, some not so good.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who like do their own version, like, well, this is how I think the movie should have been. And, you know, sometimes it's a good idea and sometimes it's not. There's
2020 hindsight.
Yeah.
It is, you know.
Well, I mean, like, there's one version where it's like the prequels, if like this movie with all the Jar Jar scenes removed, like Jar Jar completely removed from the movie, like he never existed. Which I'm not really sure how you have him go to Gungan City and everything, but
right, yeah. They just like walk in the water and like, hey, look, a city.
I don't quite.
Good thing we decided to walk in this water.
I guess they cut that scene out completely. But anyway, there's lots of different edits where people like, well, I have a fundamental problem with this thing, so I'm just going to remove it completely, or I'm going to change it, or whatever. And they're fun to watch, but you know, kind of for me, it's fun to watch in like a, you know, like, okay, this is like an alternate version type thing.
That's right. Yeah. I don't want to accept that as my real version.
Yeah, exactly. But I do like there is a version of Episode 4. It's called Star Wars Revisited.
Oh, by Adawan. Yeah.
Adawan, yeah. This guy who is just amazing at... I mean, he's a filmmaker, and he has all the capabilities that, you know, essentially that, like, a studio has or an independent filmmaker would have. And he redid... what he is trying to do is make tweaks, fairly subtle ones for the most part.
Yeah, most of them are very subtle.
Most of them, and kind of make the special editions of the original trilogy look the way he feels they should have looked.
Yeah, sometimes he's really just like cleaning up coloring.
Most of the time, it's just like
little things like
color
that
and stuff like that. But he did redo some of the effects.
In some scenes, like he edited the fight between Vader and Obi-Wan to be like a little bit
he
longer.
Put Duel of the Fates in there.
He put the
Battle of the Heroes.
Battle of the Heroes, yeah.
Yeah, which makes sense. I don't know if I agree with that particular choice of altering the original, but actually, I get his reason.
The one thing in that edit that I love, that I do wish was part of it, is he added the first time you went to the Death Star, he added an exterior shots of Star Destroyers going towards it with the Imperial March playing. Mm-hmm. That was really cool. That was really well done.
Yeah,
but a lot of times it's just like adjusting the spin of like the escape pod to match like the rotation of the way it would fall in space, and the planet is like turning because it's in space.
I believe, Nick, correct me if I'm wrong, because I have a feeling I'm getting confused. Did he also insert a shot on Alderaan?
Yes, he did.
Okay, that is his.
That's his version.
Yeah, there's a shot where you actually see an old Jimmy Smits with Jar Jar.
Yeah,
like the moment before Alderaan is destroyed.
Yeah, so the shot is that the beam from the Death Star goes to like on its way to Alderaan, and then it cuts to Alderaan on the planet blowing up, and you see Jimmy Smits' Organa and Jar Jar kind of turn and look at like the world blowing up
super quick,
right towards
like a fraction of a second.
Yeah, and then the world. Yeah, it's a really cool shot, and I actually really like the continuity of it.
Yeah,
because arguably Episode 4, like when you watch them chronologically, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 almost feels out of place sometimes.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the nature of prequels and original trilogies for sure.
Yeah,
you know, especially when you're not designing it to work in that way,
right?
But you know, originally, but I think. And especially when there's such a large gap between, and like all of those things, really, I mean, arguably, I think The Hobbit probably did it. Probably the best out of any time I've ever seen that happen. Did you see the third part?
No.
Okay. Well, the Hobbit, the first movie starts with older Bilbo, basically starting where Fellowship starts in the Shire, and then he flashes back. In the movie, when the Hobbit is ending, when Bilbo arrives back in Bag End, he looks down at the ring that he's holding, and then the cut is then old Bilbo holding the ring, and then it's Gandalf knocking at the door from inside the house. So you hear the same dialogue.
Yeah.
And it's like it's the same audio from Fellowship, so it's exactly the same.
That's awesome.
And then it's like it's really well done. It's a really well done bridge. I don't think you couldn't do it any better.
Right.
And so
that's awesome.
That's what's missing between episode 3 and episode 4 is like that kind of like cut bridge. But I don't even know how you would do it with a movie like that, because Hobbit and Lord of the Rings have the advantage of having the same actors, who are roughly the same age.
Yeah, I mean,
you're talking a huge 20-ish year gap of film. Make 20, between. No, actually,
between Empire, before Jedi,
30 some odd years between Revenge and New Hope, like going backwards, because 77 to 2005,
right?
Yeah, that's a huge gap of time.
Well, wait,
I love this line. Like, why do I sense we've picked up another pathetic life form? Like, it's a trend with Qui-Gon. Like, this is what Qui-Gon does.
What you do,
He finds weird people that get attracted to him, and they mope around. They just like go around the galaxy with the weirdos.
It's like when you're on a trip with your parent who makes friends with everybody. Like, oh god,
my mother. Yes, yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I didn't realize I was actually accidentally talking about his mom.
Yeah, my mom.
But actually,
it's exactly what she does.
I can imagine that your family.
My mom is basically Qui-Gon shit at this time.
Your family vacations must have.
Oh yeah, you want to come along? Like, yeah, why not?
We're having dinner if you want to join us.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, this is my family in a nutshell right here.
Oh my god.
So and then me as Obi-Wan. Why do I sense we picked up another pathetic life form? Like,
you're gonna really like her.
Yep. Oh man, that in a nutshell. And so, this is where Qui-Gon's telling him. He's like, "You're a slave now. Don't think that you're going to be exactly free." He's not really saying it that way, but it's like
it's hard work. He's saying it's not going to be an easy life. It's not going to be the easiest thing. You got to work for it, and
right. And then Anakin is like, "Oh, that's cool. Can I go? Like, I'm going to be back in an hour."
Yeah.
Like, he just doesn't get he's going to be gone forever.
You're never going to see your mom again.
Well, you will, but she'll be kind of lying dead in your arms.
You didn't know that.
But I think he gets it. He's this Force sensitive, intuitive
now he gets
kid.
it. Right there, he gets it.
I'm telling you, it's like but then it's not even here, because he thinks that she's going to be free.
Right.
And so it's not it's when he's walking away from the house. You could kind of he turns around. He's like, "When am I going to see you again?"
Well, she asked him, "Do you think we'll do you think so?"
And that's him reaching into the Force.
Yeah.
Like,
and he says, yes.
Like, yes, I guess.
Yeah.
I really don't know what it's going to be like.
But he has a feeling, a sense that maybe.
But it's like, what's his? Is it a good feeling over we see each other again, or is it that foreboding? Like, when do those dreams start? That his. Because the movie episode 2 starts with...
It's been happening for a while.
It's been happening for a while.
Yeah.
Has it been happening since you've been gone? Is this something that he's been dealing with for 10 years?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. It probably started not long after. It probably starts when he gets to Coruscant, or maybe even when he's in space.
Right.
Who knows? Coruscant.
See, this is moments like this where you're like...
I really thought they were setting this up. Yeah. I remember the first time I saw it, and even subsequent times when I knew what was going to happen, I was still like... It really feels like
there's a thing.
There's a love story here.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a love story here. But on the same, maybe Qui-Gon is really the father. He's not shaped by the midichlorians. And no, I'm kidding. But that's not true at all. But
punch you.
I know. Too far away on the couch.
I do like that perspective shot from 3PO.
I was just thinking that actually.
It looks kind of like a GoPro. It looks like kind of like someone was strapped a GoPro to their head. You're absolutely right. See, and it's this moment, right? It's that little like mouse droid type thing, right? How Why is that okay, but then the ball droid isn't? Like, why is that so annoying?
You know, I wondered that when people were like, ball droid this, ball droid that.
Yeah, and there is a name for it, and I've forgotten. When they announced all the character names.
D8? D8?
I don't remember what it was. I don't remember. I'm a bad Star Wars fan. Yeah, look it up. Because I want to know. But yes, there is a name for it that when they announced all the character names. Maybe we shouldn't say it because people might, I don't know. Some people consider that a spoiler. I don't consider just knowing a character name a spoiler. But maybe just for people who want to go into it pure, let's not say it.
Okay, well, I got it wrong, but I was pretty close.
Can I see it?
No.
I don't want to say it out loud, but I would like to just see it just to remember for myself because it drives me a little crazy. It's anywhere on the internet if you do want to see it. Just search like
ball droid name.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah. I remember now. You were pretty close.
Yeah.
So yeah, here. I mean, he's.
See, don't look back. She's telling him
twice.
She twice.
And what does he do?
He looks back. Now, see, does he look back in this scene? I don't remember.
Don't look back in anger.
Yeah, but I want to see if he turns around to look at her one more time.
I thought he did.
He's disobeying her.
Or were we distracted when that happened? I think we were distracted when that happened.
No, he said, "Don't look back, don't look back." And I watched him walk.
Okay.
He doesn't look back.
All right.
But he does ignore her, even in his feelings that way.
Yeah.
I'm going to get on my motorbike, vroom vroom, and I'm going to go hunt some Jedi. Big drop. I could feel my stomach plummet at that very moment. I like that. The reveal.
Anakin.
He almost takes out his head. Like boom. He would have just killed that kid.
By the way, right there where he says Anakin drop.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that
Anakin no.
The Anakin is the source from there.
I think so too.
And then the no was, I don't know, Dexter Jettster or something. It was not Liam Neeson.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I think the Anakin was from right there.
Now see, Qui-Gon is he's exhausting himself fighting Maul.
Yeah.
Because Jedi have never seen anything like this before.
Right.
Since they've been extinct for a millennium.
As we will hear soon.
Exactly, as we will hear, yeah. Actually, in the novelization, Darth Maul force jumps up to the lever, up to the landing bay with him. Yeah, and he gets kicked off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is cool.
That would have been kind of cool.
But he's like, oh my God.
I like that we get to see a little taste of him, but we don't get to see both sides of the lightsaber
reveal.
yet.
Yeah, I agree. That was such a cool reveal.
Even though we saw it in the trailer.
Yeah.
It was still
awesome.
And I think that's what they were going for. Well,
it's an interesting meeting between the two of them because Obi-Wan is clearly I hate you.
Yeah. Pathetic life form.
Pathetic life form. Exactly. Yeah. It's an interesting meeting. And Anakin is just like
this thing the Viceroy is sitting on.
I know. I've always liked this thing. Like, you can't walk. Like, why is it necessary? Like, it just seems uncomfortable. Like, his head's bobbing back and forth. Thing. Yeah. Like, how is that helpful to anybody?
Take him away.
Take him away.
Yeah. I have always thought that was just strange. And that they have the Palpatine hologram on one of those at some point too, where when they're walking.
Yeah,
in the palace,
he's walking with them. Yeah, I like how Jar Jar doesn't get a bed or anything. It's like everybody else has sleeping quarters except for Jar Jar.
See, this is when I should have known that she was the queen.
Right, like why would she be watching that
right.
or have access to that as a handmaiden?
Right, like why would she care that much?
Well, it is her people, she does say.
I guess, but, you know.
Yeah.
This was clearly like foreshadowing and or straight up telling you.
Yeah, well, I guess he doesn't get one either.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very cold. That's because you come from a freaking desert planet.
That's the one place I'm going to say probably where Jar Jar's feet were practical.
Yeah, they were definitely real. Yeah, absolutely. Real feet.
That must have looked creepy. Just like 2 feet on the table with nothing attached to the legs.
I know, just Well, I just saw dismembered Jar Jar feet, so
of course I'm sad.
Of course I'm sad.
I'm suffering, dying. Yeah. Let's explain politics to the 8-year-old.
Yeah, she did a nice job of explaining politics to the 8-year-old.
I suppose so.
Because, I mean, she's really explaining politics to everybody. I love that they brought this thing back.
I thought that was so...
Yeah.
such a nice little piece of attention to detail.
Yeah, I would have kind of liked to have seen her have it in
Throughout.
all of the episodes, like have those moments. But I mean, it's like because it could have been like one of those like
Just always there, just like
she has always got it somewhere, even if you don't get it. It's called attention to.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. Maybe I'm like missing it from episode 2.
That's true. That could be.
You know,
I don't remember it, but it could be.
Yeah, I don't either. But
we should pay attention when we watch it. When we do our commentary on that.
Yeah, I agree. In a couple months.
So Coruscant had been talked about as early as the Timothy Zahn novels. I remember,
because the original planet was not Coruscant, and it got turned into that. I like that heads-up display.
And me too.
Yeah,
I remember. I listened to the audiobooks of those books, and it was not the version that is read by Anthony Daniels, as I wish that I had. It was the older version where the guy pronounces it Coruscant.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. Coruscant sounds very regal.
It does, yes.
Yeah.
You know what else is regal?
Chancellor Zod.
Yeah.
Yeah. I needed before Chancellor Zod. I've always actually really felt bad for him in this movie. Valorum really gets a rough deal.
He is, I don't know, he is so like emasculated and so just like,
yeah, really.
He is a puppet. He is, yeah, it is.
Yeah,
actually,
I do. He is a really tragic figure that gets shafted.
But I mean, he's just collateral. He's just collateral.
Wicked. Yeah,
you know, he was never meant to really rule.
Yeah,
he was supposed to be a powerless puppet.
I agree.
Also, look at these guys just chilling and talking to the Chancellor like it's no big deal.
Yeah, like best buds.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay, I'll catch up later, guys. Bye.
Hold my hand. No, okay, bye. Yeah, he's like, okay, I guess Jar Jar's my best friend now. Sweet.
Yeah, we'll try this for a while. Grossly nice, Misa thinks. Some of these I want to know what's that alien sitting next to Jar Jar. Like, what's he called?
I know.
What kind is he? What is he called? What's his name?
I don't want to pick up any Star Wars books now, though, until they start releasing new stuff, because I don't want to pick up any of the Legends stuff.
Legends.
Yeah, I just don't want to do that to myself.
Right. Yeah, I do. I have read a few novels.
Yeah, I have too.
And some of them really add great color.
Oh, some of them are great. Yeah.
I really enjoyed the Palpatine one. What's it called?
Plagueis.
Yeah, Plagueis.
Darth Plagueis.
That is very good.
The guy who wrote that just released
James Lucino.
He released the Tarkin one that just came out.
Yeah.
Where you find out the Palpatine's first name.
Yes, that's right.
Sheev.
Sheev.
Yeah, Sheev Palpatine.
That's right. Yeah.
He is Ian McDermott really understood how to like what world he was living in.
Yeah,
he really got it.
Great actor. I mean,
yeah, really great actor.
A fantastic,
classically trained,
Shakespearean actor.
Yeah, he really knew who he was and how devious this man was. Like what he did and brought down is
so patient.
Most patient man in the galaxy, right here.
Literally his entire life.
Yeah, since he was a kid.
Yeah.
To this moment, and he's clearly, in his 60s. Let's say, maybe pushing 50s. 70.
Yeah. But yeah, like he has waited a long time to get to this place. Now he's got to be like in his 50s, because by the time A New Hope or Jedi comes around, then he's like 80. So, and
he's 70 right now.
What?
He's only 70.
Okay, so he's like 100.
Born in 44.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
You mean in real?
In real life? Yeah. Sorry, I was looking at the actor because I was just kind of basing it off of the real actor.
Yeah. I would have. I think that. So he's 70 now, so he was like 54 when he made this movie. I kind of want to say that the character it's supposed to be that age. Like I think he is in real life the age that the character. That's
why I looked up like how old he is now.
Okay, yeah.
That's why I wanted to know. And so in 2005, say 10 years ago, he would have been 60.
Yeah.
And then that's about right. So he would have been in his 50s in this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he waited like a good 40 years to get to this place in episode 1.
Exactly.
Whew, that's nuts.
Yeah, that is a game. That's a long ball. That is long ball. How come Plo Koon gets no lines?
Because he's got a breather on.
I know, but he's Plo Koon.
I know. I love Plo Koon. That's the guy
How did I never notice until today?
The Camino in the background. I know. Never ever did we notice this. Maybe he's really not a Camino in. It's because his eyes are different.
Really? You don't think so?
Yeah, his eyes are different.
You know who else's eyes are different?
Yoda's.
And I hate. Okay, so
Puppet. The Blu-ray is CG Yoda.
We're watching Puppet Yoda. I hate Puppet Yoda. No, I hate this Puppet Yoda.
Episode 1 Puppet Yoda. Not so great. He
looks like a football with eyes.
Yeah. We're on the DVD, not the Blu-ray. Unfortunately,
my Blu-rays were a casualty.
Yeah,
and are no longer with us. So we were watching on the DVD.
And I did not bring mine with me.
And I'm very sad. I need to get those Blu-rays again.
Yeah, I really wish Disney would release them digitally.
I mean, I think they will.
I think that, I have to. I mean, this is based off of nothing, but I think maybe they're like doctoring again.
Maybe. Actually, I have to think though, because I'm not sure if Disney has the rights to that or if they have them yet. I think there might have been some stipulation where 20th Century Fox may be able to continue
releasing the old ones.
Maybe.
Or maybe they could both release them concurrently. I still don't understand why Fox hasn't released them digitally, though. Like, it's like, of all things,
it might be. I'm not sure.
I love the design of the Senate.
So much.
I like
it. I like the idea of it. I just think
it looks super cool.
It does look really cool.
I hope you don't have like motion sickness or a fear of heights.
Well, yeah, sure. They just spend a lot of time in the Senate that I think is a little overdone.
Well, yeah. Well, that's different than liking the design of it, though.
You're right. Yeah. But I'm saying that I kind of associate it with like in my mind. I associate it with.
Yeah. See, but I like the politics of Star Wars. It's one of the most interesting parts to me.
Okay.
I think maybe the Clone Wars itself is a little convoluted. Like,
yeah,
we could talk about that at the different episodes.
Sure.
But I do think like it definitely is it's a like you have to kind of like break it down a little bit.
Well, yeah, and I in some ways I think,
see like a flow chart to like figure out who belongs to who.
And I do think that it at times gets unnecessarily complicated.
Yeah, I agree. But that doesn't change the fact that I love the design.
I like the design of the
room.
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
It's especially cool when it pays off in episode 3.
Oh yeah, well when the Republic is crashing literally and figuratively around them. Yeah, that's
so I threw the Senate at him. The whole Senate.
But then even after he destroys the Senate, it takes 20 years for him to dissolve it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, we see
because that's the line from episode 4.
The regional governor.
Yeah. I just received word. Yeah. Good old slipper wearing Tarkin. Yeah.
Grandma Tarkin.
For those of you who don't know, good old Peter Cushing. Found the boots of his costume as Governor Tarkin uncomfortable, so he wore slippers instead, and he's only shot from the waist up.
So yeah, there's you're right, and there's photos of him on set, and you can see the slippers. Now the other thing I'd heard was that they were all wearing, or like many like crew members and stuff were wearing like slippers and like booty things too.
Yeah,
to keep the floor shiny.
Oh, instead of scuffing up the floors. Oh, that's very interesting.
But I don't...
poor Chancellor Valora.
Vote now. But I don't...
E.T. in the corner.
I know. I always love that.
Yep.
Sometimes I miss it, and I don't see it, but I freaking love that that's there. And now that validates when E.T. sees the Yoda costume. And
yeah, that's right.
Home.
It's the same universe.
Wow.
Yeah, Earth. Well, it's galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
So... I wonder how E.T. got there. Traveled a lot of galaxies.
Yeah, well, the theory of relativity, time travel and time doesn't,
Interstellar. Got it. Okay.
Got it. Yeah.
Got it. That's a really nice shot.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that traffic is really moving in a good formation, though.
I know.
Like,
so
I would not
orderly.
be able to handle that.
So orderly. Yeah, I know. I would definitely just like.
Oh, see, I love this scene.
Yeah.
He's like, I am impressed. That does not happen a lot.
Have you ever watched these films with the riff tracks?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
That is a fun time, I have to say. If you like to laugh, definitely get the riff tracks for, I think all 6 now they have. It's definitely worth your time. Especially if you like jokes about Ki-Adi-Mundi's appearance.
I love Ki-Adi-Mundi. He actually has his death scene in Revenge of the Sith is awesome.
Yeah.
He has like some really good moves before he dies.
Yeah, he puts up a fight.
Actually, I had a t-shirt growing up that had this on it. It was a black shirt with a picture of Yoda, and on the back had,
Fearless to anger, angerless to hate, hateless suffering.
Yep.
That's good.
Yep. Sam Jackson doesn't age. It's nuts.
I know.
It's nuts. Like, he looks a little bit different now than he does in Revenge of the Sith, but from Revenge of the Sith onward in his life, he looks exactly the same.
He hasn't really aged.
No, he hasn't.
It's true.
She changes her outfit so freaking much.
And like
this is all one day. She's had 3 different queen outfits.
And like completely different.
Yeah. Like, poor girl. She's only 14.
Yeah. It's such an interesting how like Naboo is like, oh yeah, we have a queen, but she's 12, and we elect her, and she
did a great job. Yeah. She's supposed to be 14, I think.
Okay, 14. I think.
Yeah.
I think the one after her, or I can't remember. But yeah, I think, isn't there one who's like very young?
This moment right here is when she figures out that he's not all he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like the way she looks at him, where she's like,
wait a second.
I see.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
You knew.
Yeah. Who else is nominated? Oh, I see.
I will be a chancellor.
Yeah, you will. Yep.
Yeah. No, she is definitely very astute.
Oh yeah. Well, she's not queen.
14-year-old.
She's not queen at 14 for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny that it's just it's his arena because it becomes her arena.
Right.
Yeah.
I like how she just got here and she's already like, all right, going home now.
Yeah, I have to go back because I don't really trust you anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And he's like, he's like, go back. Like, that was not my plan.
Right.
Like, that's not Palpatine's plan. He got her there because she's a chess piece and he needs her. And so now he has to figure out a way to become chancellor without her.
He's just constantly having to rethink the plan.
Yeah, but he does it.
He does it
really well. The scene is great too. The any scene with the Jedi Council.
Yeah, and with angry Qui-Gon.
Yeah, just like chilling with his arm up on the chair. He's like, no, dude.
No,
I was just listening to some Coltrane. Like, no, hands on your hips. You know, it's funny when you're not listening to the words and just watching Yoda's mouth move. It's like, la, 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 la. It's
yeah, that's true.
like Obi-Wan's reaction to this. He's like, I hate you too. Like,
I hate everything right now.
Yeah.
I just wanted to come home, guys.
Yeah.
I just wanted to come home. I just wanted to be a peacekeeper. I wanted to go for the trials, become a Jedi, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's all I want.
I am ready to face the trials. Like, oh no, sorry, Master Yoda, I didn't mean it. No, I'm sorry. Anakin gets the shaft a lot. All 3 movies. It's like, we don't have time to deal with you right now.
Yeah.
Right from the beginning. See, there's that dark Anakin there.
The scowl.
Yeah.
Draw out the Queen's attacker.
Yeah.
He definitely gets the shaft. I mean, they're talking about him like he's not in the room.
Yep.
Like, he's right there. Yeah. It's kind of uncool, actually.
It's really uncool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like this movie, like subtly, these movies do a subtly good job at like building up to this moment where like the Jedi are like not the magic Knights of the Round Table that you think they are.
Right, they're flawed.
Yeah.
They have problems. There are
Yeah,
major problems.
there's a reason that they fall apart.
Yeah.
Because they are too bureaucratic. They're a place to be exploited,
and they're complacent.
Yeah, extremely. They're not political beings. Yeah, it's like now get on board. We have we have other things to do. You know?
And then when Mace Windu is like, I sense the plot to destroy the Jedi. It's like, oh well, Vladida.
Yeah,
about time.
Yeah. Like, hello, where have you been for the past 10 years?
You just now figured this out?
Where have you been for the past 15 years? Like,
We've
hello.
been watching these movies for forever. It's been 6 years since the first one came out, you idiot.
I was wondering, what is going to make fanboys the maddest? Oh, well, you see, midichlorians are a microscopic life form that resides within all living cells.
Oh, man. Oh man, that was good.
I've kind of just accepted midichlorians at this point. It just doesn't hit me the same way anymore.
It didn't bother me at first because I didn't know any better. It bothers me a little more now. I'm a little bit like, okay, I kind of get why people are.
I get that you, but see, I understand from a point of which you need to. I get that you need to have a way to see if people are Force sensitive.
Like a scientific, measurable way.
Yeah, otherwise you're like, oh, he seems intuitive. He must be Force sensitive, you know?
I know, but I was more convinced I'm more convinced he's Force sensitive because of what he does than I am from, like Obi-Wan saying, like, his readings are off the charts is, like, icing on the cake, but, like, all his little...
That's true. Beforehand.
Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't have tested him if they couldn't at least tell a little bit beforehand. That's true.
Right, yeah. So I don't really need that as much.
Oh, Sidious is now on a spinny thing. Do you think they're spinning in his office or that he's spinning?
Well, no, I think he's on... I think he might be on that octopus thing now.
Oh, okay. But do you think he sees them as spinning?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah.
I know that's a good question though.
There was just a glare on the ship. I wonder where that came from, considering they're in space.
I don't know, nearby star, I guess.
The face that he makes with Anakin is like, you catch on pretty quick.
Don't steal my job.
Get away from me. Yeah.
You weirdo.
You know too many things, 8-year-old. Too many things.
Too many things.
See, that girl on the back
kind of looks like
Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
Yeah. They all kind of look alike. It's smart. It's red herrings everywhere.
Yeah. See, the other glare comes from that planet, so that makes sense.
Right. Neutron star or something.
Sure. This ship is so beautiful.
It is a gorgeous
ship. The Nubian
ship.
is beautiful.
It's actually really good CG, even still. Like,
yeah. I think the reflections
make a big, yeah. Big, make it and break it.
Yeah.
I think we cannot use our power to help her. What have you been doing this whole time? Yeah. I think he maybe means like we can't, like, you will help us. Right. You know, I think that's really what it means. But I just like it's an odd line.
Now, taking the trials,
it's like an SAT.
I know.
Yeah.
But
just Obi-Wan sitting there doing the Scantron sheet, like,
oh man, it's an effort racer.
Yeah. When you lose your lightsaber, you A, build a new one. B, hunt it down. C, first hunt it down, then build a new one. D, cry to Master Yoda.
But does that essentially get replaced by him fighting Darth Maul?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so, right?
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, you took out this dark warrior.
You're good.
Like, you're
good.
In. You wonder what the actual trial is. If like,
I know. Is it like taking like a road test? Is it like, okay, you have to go kill those 4 bad guys over there?
yeah, that's awesome. It's like the police test, like you see in movies where they're like running through a warehouse and like the cardboard stuff pops up. They're like, slice through it. Oh no, oh no, you just killed the queen.
Oh. Is it like the Kobayashi Maru? I mean, is it like
just Obi-Wan sitting in a chair, like phaser set to stun? Yeah. You will arm the shields. Like,
so many people are angry at us right now.
I know.
Mixing our metaphors.
Yeah.
There's Keira Knightley again. There's Natalie Portman behind her.
I like this like deserted like temple, like Buddhist looking temple. Yeah. I just like Natalie Portman just like steps forward. It's like, you're screwing it up, Keira Knightley.
Yeah, I got this.
This is not what I would say.
Let me take care of this.
I wonder where Boss Nass's ears are.
You don't want to know.
Yeah, I guess I don't. No, I really do, actually.
Ooh, sadis.
I think nobody knows.
They're under his hat.
I guess so, yeah. Who knew? Panaka knew. That's about it.
Yeah. These two are like, we should have known that.
Everyone, they just look at each other like, we're not as good with the Force as we should be. Obi-Wan, we need to go meditate.
Do you get the feeling we were supposed to know that too? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay. At least it's not just me. Okay. I was too concerned with this 8-year-old.
She's begging. She's down on her knees. Like, what?
Get down on your knees and tell me you love me. Like, yeah.
They're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
We did not see this coming.
R2, get on your knee. What are you doing?
Yes.
Just sitting there.
And he's laughing. He's crazy. Yeah, Boss Nass is an interesting character.
Yep.
I got enough of him, though.
Oh, yeah, I didn't need more movies with Boss Nass.
I did like that he was back for her funeral.
Yeah, that was a nice touch.
Yeah.
That was a really nice touch. Yeah. He also looks different than the rest of them. Like, he's a different color and all the whole 9 yards. Yeah. So, it's cool.
I wonder if, like, the bosses get, like, fed the corpses of the other Gungans.
Well, that's kind of dark. Yeah. I have to, like, I have to, like, really process what you said.
That's why he's so fat. Because he ate so much.
I think he just eats a lot of the fish monsters.
Sure, those.
Yeah. Yes, my master. Yeah, see, I do a great Darth Maul. Yes, my master.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I know.
You should always have a cold.
Yeah, right? So I can continue to just cough and sneeze. My sticky shoes. Why do you stick on? It's a Friends thing when Phoebe has a cold. I sound amazing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I have an idea. Why don't we make this guy a general?
Yeah, right. Think. Oh.
Also, the word bombad can mean literally anything you want it to mean.
Yeah, it's like Wicked up in Boston.
No, it's not, because Wicked means something.
That's true.
It means really. It means very.
It's like, I don't know, it's like almost like I would say maybe it's like using the word like too much. It's like there were like literally 1,000. Maybe it's like the word literally.
No,
like,
it just means everything. It means bombad means awesome. It means.
Why did we both use the word awesome?
I don't know, but it means awesome. It means like distinguished. It means you guys suck.
I like R2 can now use different colors in his little projections. True. Yeah. I've never seen that before. It's the first time I've ever noticed that, actually.
I'm trying to think if I've ever seen other colors.
Well, I mean, in Return of the Jedi, Luke has like, in Jabba's palace, he has like vaguely different colors. But like Princess Leia is like all blue. Yeah. But I've never seen like red before.
Right, that's what I mean.
But that's really the only time he's projected anything that's not a person. Yeah,
that's true. These two droids. Yeah, that's a good point. Qui-Gon is always so like well spoken, and he's like a tactician and like a strategist. He's thinking through like
he is a Jedi master.
Yeah,
of the
he is.
extreme.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan says that the only reason you're not on the council is because you disagree with them.
Yeah.
You know, he's one of the best of them.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is why Obi-Wan does so well. Oh,
here's the octopus thing.
I like it. Ray Park is not a tall man.
No, he's not.
No.
I love that. Yes, there it is. I love that. It's something I only started noticing about Star Wars a couple years ago, is that when the camera is in one place, you see the back of Palpatine. When it's in this place, you see his front. When it's another place, you see his side. It's like the hologram itself is a 3D image, and wherever the camera is, like our point of view, you see whatever side of him like
everybody else is seeing.
No, like.
Oh, so it's not a 2D image.
It's not a 2D flat image. It is actually a 3D projection. So
that's what I've always kind of assumed about, though.
I know, but I never really thought about it that way.
Oh, okay.
So, like, until like fairly recently, where it's like, oh, so like if this projection was actually in front of me and I walked around it, it would be like walking around a person. I'm like, okay, I'm looking at your face, now I'm looking at the side of your face, and I'm looking at the back of your head, and now I'm looking at your, like if you walk in a circle around it. It has dimensions.
He follows me wherever I go.
Well, no, that's the thing. He doesn't. Like, it's not like you only if he followed you, you'd see his face, even if you walked all around him.
Anywhere. But yeah,
but it's not.
That's true. So you could hide from the hologram if he's not on the spinny octopus thingy.
Yeah.
You could like run around in the other direction, and Palpatine wouldn't be able to find you.
That's kind of what I'm. Yeah. So I don't know. I think that's interesting. I never really thought about it that way because you don't really see that in the original trilogy.
That's true.
You always see the face.
That's no, you see the side of Princess Leia.
Okay, yes, you're right. No, wait.
Yes.
But that's when she's making the video, not when
when she turns it off.
She turns her head.
Put it back. Play the whole message.
All right. I'm not gonna argue with you.
Yeah.
Play back the entire message. Yeah. Power converters.
What message? The one you've got inside your rusty innards. That was so half-hearted. Where he's like, "Yeah, I got you." Yeah, that is classic. Like, we don't know how to work with CG.
Yeah,
yeah. You can sense it from them when they're fighting them a little bit, where they're just like
I'm supposed to hit what? Where?
Yeah. Part of that also might be like him as a Padawan versus like.
True.
Yeah.
But he's almost like a Jedi.
Yeah, he's basically a Jedi within the next couple of hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, from where we are now.
Right.
See, there's a lot of... So I like this. There's a lot of real sparks in this movie, like going off. Yeah. That's...
These ships, too, my God.
They're really nice ships. Very World War I looking outfits that they all wear.
Yeah,
like bomber jackets and stuff like that, and helmets. True. Very World War I.
I would still, to this day, I would really like a model of this ship like on my desk.
A Naboo Starfighter?
Yeah.
I had a Naboo Starfighter. Oh, there was a Naboo Starfighter game.
I don't think I had that.
Yeah, I didn't have it, but I played it.
I would sure. Yeah, I don't think I ever had the Lego either.
I didn't have the Lego of this. No.
I think I knew somebody who did that. That's why I'm kind of thinking.
Yeah.
I'm getting second guessing, but no, I don't think I ever had it. I think my friend had it. I would love a model, like a nice, decent size scale model, not huge, but a nice one on my desk. Maybe with the Enterprise D.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
You really like the Naboo Starfighter that much?
I like it. Yeah, I do. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just a sleek, nice looking ship. Really, if I was gonna like pick, like, okay, I can have one Star Wars thing, I would probably pick the Millennium Falcon before I pick that. But
yeah,
but I'm just saying it is a nice enough thing that like I would like to have one.
I was always a huge fan of the B-Wing myself.
I like the B-Wing.
I love the B-Wing. I just love that I just love the 360 spin of it where the cockpit stays. I just like it's such a cool design. Yeah. This was rather horrifying. Like mass-produced,
oh my God,
a mass-produced army like this in its own right is pretty terrifying. Yeah. I do like the idea of like the walk-through shields. Like, it's only good on bombardments, but if you walk slowly through it, the shield does you no good. Yeah.
I remember, did you ever see this movie in 3D when it came out in theaters in 3D?
Yeah, it was the only one that made it to 3D.
Yeah. I don't remember being super impressed with the 3D.
No, they weren't. 3D conversion versus film for 3D are two entirely different things. I was just happy to see it on the big screen again.
And like they were saying that all 6 movies were going to...
Yeah, but then the Disney acquisition happened and they canceled them.
I know, yeah, I know.
I was really just more looking forward to seeing the original trilogy on the big screen again.
Me too.
Because I've never actually seen Empire or Jedi on the big screen.
I have never seen any of the originals on the big screen.
Oh, I saw the 97 re-release in theaters.
I didn't. So
my grandparents took us.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. So yeah, I would have loved to have seen them on the big screen. And I'm sure they will get re-released at some point. And
maybe even next December. By the time it wouldn't surprise me.
They are going to be releasing, I think, Revenge of the Sith in 3D at Star Wars Celebration.
Oh, when you're there?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I am definitely going to try to get
such
there.
a great reveal. How long do you think he was standing at that door? He's like, yeah, I'll stand like this. I'll stand like this. Yeah.
He was waiting like an hour.
Yeah, this is going to be good. This is going to be really cool.
My contacts are itchy.
If you think about it, if you think about it, this is like the Sith have been like he is revealing himself to them.
Yes.
I like how they both all of them know we have to take off our robes. This is not going to
get messy.
Yeah, this is not going to be good. But it's like the excitement that Darth Maul has got to have in that moment to be like, yeah, I'm the guy.
Yep.
Oh, what a great.
Oh, there it is.
Whoop, there it is.
Yep. Oh.
And we're off.
The choreography here
is so good.
And the music that I kind of wish we were listening to.
Yeah, I really, but that's okay. La 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 la.
He's one of the greatest star pilots, even at age 8. And yet he doesn't know that he's accidentally starting the ship.
Now he knows, yeah. Yeah, once the thing starts, he's like, and we're going to pull down the cockpit. Yeah.
Let's just get ourselves.
I do wish that, his destruction of the Trade Federation ship was a little bit more on purpose.
Yeah.
As opposed to his accident. Yeah. It would have, informed the character a little bit more, but this is getting nitpicky. Yeah.
I'm going to put this helmet on now.
Yep.
Because, it'll protect my head in space from lasers.
Boom. From G-Force. That's cool. Oh. I remember one of my friends in elementary school when this movie came out, and we were talking about Qui-Gon dying, and she was like, well, if they didn't spin around all the time, maybe he would have survived. How many turns do you miss by just spinning in a circle? What is that actually doing for you? And I've never ever forgotten that, even though it looks super cool. She's totally right.
It's kind of true.
We've never really ever seen before until this movie, what Jedi can really do.
Right.
Because
this is the first time we're actually seeing Jedi
all their trainings put to use. Because Luke was never really trained that way.
No.
And Vader's a machine.
Yeah.
So he was never really as powerful. Once he got dismembered, really, by Obi-Wan, he was never as powerful as he could have been.
I mean, visually, it certainly looks that way, right? It looks like he's just this big oaf who's just sort of chop.
Yeah, well,
chop.
He couldn't. Because
he wasn't
Dave Prowse couldn't raise it. He couldn't raise his arms over a certain because of the suit. Yeah,
right. So, but in terms of in the story, in the world, it's we're seeing that what the Jedi could really do in their heyday, and what they were trained to do.
Yeah, which
that we never got to see in the original trilogy because that time had passed.
It's actually one of the reasons I'm super excited for Episode 7. I can't wait to see Luke Skywalker unleash hell. I just can't wait. Because I'll be curious if they go in the direction of Luke being more powerful than Anakin. Because technically, if Anakin's the chosen one, technically Anakin should be the most powerful Jedi to have ever lived.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see in December. I can't wait.
Yeah. Oh, man. It is I do like this cockpit design, too. It's very cool looking.
It's a beautiful ship.
It is a really gorgeous starfighter.
Beautiful ship.
Yeah. Man, whoever invented the astromech must be rolling in money.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. That is the droid.
You think there's like an astromech monopoly that just like one company sells them?
Oh, totally. Yeah, there are like other versions that just never really made it. Yep. I just love, I'll try spinning. That's a good trick. That is a line I've said more times than I can count for no reason. He shoots that window an awful lot for having a laser gun.
Yeah, it's true.
Like,
it's like, dude, I'm pretty sure the first one did it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can stop.
Do you think they run out of ammo?
I have never I don't know.
Because like in the video games and stuff they do. Because it's a game, you have to add that.
I always thought that there was like a cartridge you refilled it with.
You have to like charge your gun, or it's a card. Do you have to charge the cartridges?
No, like a refill.
Okay.
Like here's the plasma that
the plasma container.
Yeah,
it's like liquid plasma that gets turned into a fiery bolt or something.
And then when it's done, you just take out the old container and put in a new one.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how I always pictured it, but I have no real.
Yeah, you never really see them reload those guns. So
no, I'm sure there's a novel somewhere that explains it.
Yep. That no longer counts. Yeah.
Just a legend.
Yeah. Oh, nice. There are no railings in the future or in other galaxies. Yeah, is what I've learned. Oh, I love that.
Especially not where there's big, giant, dangerous beams of energy. No railings there.
No railings in the future. Well, those beams are kind of contained, actually. They're in their own self-containment unit.
I know, but this is clearly some kind of, like, engine room or something like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I would imagine that it's kind of powering the palace or something like that.
It's like the reactor that powers the whole palace.
Or the city, for that matter.
Yeah, so someone is going to need to maintain this at some point.
This laser grid room. Why would you ever make this? What would be the point of this?
Again, to keep away from the dangerous
the giant pit that serves no purpose for being there. It's like that. It's like Galaxy Quest, like with all the fire pits and this. Like whoever wrote this episode should die. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
I just watched that movie not that long.
Did you really? I love that movie so much. We gotta talk about that another time. Yeah. I love the difference between these two, where he's all about meditating.
Yeah,
and he's just like, and Maul's just like, I got to keep my energy up. This is where I'm drawing power. And,
right.
And Qui-Gon's got to go back into meditation mode. And then Obi-Wan's just like somewhere in the middle, where he's like, all the way back here. Yeah.
Well, he's definitely impatient, and he's like waiting. Like I need to get where you are right now. I need to be there.
Yeah, I need to be there.
Why am I back here?
Yeah. But it's like those things that you might not even think about the first time you watch the movie, but it's like those are the things that really inform the characters, which is why I like this movie at the end of it, you know what I mean? Because it has a lot of those moments of, you know, like this is what a Jedi is, this is what a Sith is, and it's like it doesn't call it out to your face. You have to stop and you have to think about it.
Right.
And, you know, George Lucas doesn't really get credit for moments like that where you have to stop and think about things. But you do have to think about a lot of, like even like Vader's motivations through 3 movies. Like, you have to stop and think about it. Like, what does Vader really want here? Because he goes back and forth quite a bit.
Yep.
Stuff like that just makes a big difference. Jar Jar is Jar Jar's the luckiest creature in the universe.
Oh my god, yes.
Like, hands down, the luckiest creature in the universe. These designs, too, are really cool.
He's the luckiest creature in the universe until he comes with the brilliant idea to give emergency powers
to the Chancellor.
Yeah,
I agree. He clearly did not read Julius Caesar.
Nope.
That is not a thing that existed in this universe.
Because this was a long time ago.
Yeah, in a galaxy far,
far away. Far away.
It is classic Return of the Jedi. 3 different action sequences happening at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Battle on 3 fronts.
Yep. One in a throne type room.
Yep.
One. Yeah. It's good.
One in space and. Yeah. No, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. It is that same kind of device, framing device.
A lot of movies use that device. It's really Return of the Jedi that
I think of.
Oh, I always think of Return of the Jedi first. But it's really like that. It really does a really nice job at breaking up that movie does a nice job at breaking up the pacing.
Yep.
Yeah. It's the design of Darth Maul is just killer.
Oh, man.
It's so good. And here we go. See, It's such great choreography. Gotta give Liam needs a lot of credit for that too.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, he owns it. Oh. See, and then you just knew this was not going to end well. There's no music. It's all very indie sounding, and then just see, he's going to spin around, and that's going to be his doom.
Mm-hmm. Like, why would you expose your back?
Yeah, ever.
Why?
Ever. And
at least it's self-cauterizing.
See that? Yeah, right. See, that scream of no never bothers anybody.
That's true.
Yeah,
that is true.
No one ever calls out Obi-Wan for screaming no.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. There's a lot of no screaming in Star Wars.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, such your feelings, you know it to be true. No!
Yeah.
You know, and
no, there's definitely, it's people always say it's a Skywalker trait, but you know what? Right there.
It's clearly not. Yeah. It is Skywalker associated trait.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it really is. Yeah.
A little interjection is an end, Your Highness.
I like that.
Ray.
I like that she has guns stored in her throne room.
I know,
like in the chair. Like that's pretty. Wow, Keira Knightley's a good shot.
Yeah, it's true. Better than Stormtroopers.
Yeah, right. I'm actually kind of surprised even the droids are not as good shots considering they're droids. You think they'd have like some kind of mathematically
targeting computer?
Yeah,
like everything else in these movies.
Yeah, right. The droids are on like supposed to use force targeting, like, but we're droids. No, we need to save money.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Ray got served.
Yes, he did. Oh, he's mad. He's mad, and he's still see it. He's pacing too. I think this is my favorite part of the fight, though. Their choreography here is so good.
Yeah.
That. Yes, the like forward and back. Oh.
They definitely do a lot of stuff like this for show. We're just like, and now I'm gonna spin this around just to show.
Oh
you that
yeah,
I can
you
do
could
this.
feel how much of it's for show.
Yeah.
in this movie, you feel like
this just spinning
Yeah.
for no reason. Oh my God, this is beautiful.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. It is like artful.
It's dancing.
Yeah,
I agree. So, but I mean, in the choreography of let's say Obi-Wan versus Anakin in Episode 3.
Yes.
Every move has a purpose. It's not.
Yes.
It's not just spinning. They really.
Yeah.
But this is the Matrix influence. It's that time period of.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what came out first though.
I think they came out basically around the same time. So not really, but I mean like that these movies kind of like pushed that choreography forward.
Yeah.
The dancing fight choreography.
It's true. Yeah, this was the time for that. That was very much in style.
It was very much in vogue for 8 to 10-ish years.
Yeah.
Very much in style. I remember being a little bit disappointed in the choreography of Episode 2.
Yeah,
because it wasn't as much like this. It was a little more straightforward, and I remember being disappointed in that. Now I'm not so much. But I remember not enjoying it the same way.
Right.
But again, this was all about, like, this is what the Jedi can really do.
Now, this is podcasting.
Yo, why have we never, ever, ever made that joke before? That seems like a wasted opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't make it up.
Yeah. Really?
I didn't.
Oh, okay. That's still.
I'm not going to take credit for it.
Oh, okay. Well, still.
But, still.
Yeah, that I, as much as I've been trying to maintain positive thoughts on this movie, I hate that stupid line. No, it's not. No, it's not. You are flying. You are in a spaceship. You are not pod racing. Pod racing is pod racing.
It's a figure of speech, though.
I don't get in my car and go, and this is ferry riding, like when I'm stuck in traffic or it's raining outside and I'm hydroplaning. I'm like, this is boat racing. This is jet skiing. No, I don't. Stupid. All right.
Wow.
But he's 8. It's really the only thing in this movie that really bothers me to that great extent. I don't really know why. And
swipe
with blood.
Yeah, I never really noticed that before.
With blood. Yeah, it's interesting.
I actually never noticed that before.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. It's very the cauterization of the lightsabers is very back and forth.
Yeah.
I remember reading a book that came out right after this, and Obi-Wan was using Qui-Gon's lightsaber.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Is that what he uses for the rest of the...
No, he uses his own.
Okay.
He builds a new one. Yeah.
I guess they
must bury or burn the lightsaber with him, yeah. Which seems like kind of a waste of the force crystal, but you know what? That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they take the crystal out, then burn it.
Maybe.
Yeah, promise me you'll do this really hard thing. Promise me.
Spend the next 10 years doing this, because that's how.
Yeah. Yeah, 10 years? Yeah, about that. Yeah. Although, is he, by Revenge of the Sith, is he a Jedi? He's just a Jedi at that point. He's not really the apprentice anymore.
At the beginning, he still is, though. Beginning of Revenge of the Sith, he still is.
Yeah.
But it's during Revenge of the Sith that it's like, okay, you're on your own now.
Yeah, that's it.
Except we're still going to hang out all the time and stuff.
Yeah, you're a Jedi, but you're not on the council. You can sell the council, but you're not a Jedi master. It's just another...
Okay, right here.
Yeah.
Right here, right?
We'll watch your career with great interest.
Right.
Yes.
And he puts his hand on Anakin's shoulder, and that's where my VHS ended.
Oh, no. No.
Because it's like 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And the tape was only like 2 hours. Maybe my tape was like 2 hours and 4 minutes, something like that. So right there, he puts his hand on his shoulder, and it's over. By the way, that's Ben Burt over there, and wearing the reddish hat.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
that's Ben Burt.
The sound designer.
That's
awesome.
Yep.
I like that the guards look like the Imperial Guard.
I know.
But blue. I really like that.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, Yoda's sticking it to him.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yoda's not gonna...
The guy that just died that was my master and best friend believed in him. This great Jedi warrior. What do you think of that, Yoda?
Yeah, the dead guy that we both liked. Yeah, him.
Yeah, the great wise one.
I gave him my word.
Yeah.
I'm going to train him, whether you want me to or not.
Yeah. Thank you for granting me this great honor. My first act of business, disobeying you.
Qui-Gon's defined a sense in you. Yeah, really?
Yeah, right?
Way to go. Yeah.
How happy do you think Obi-Wan was to cut off his little rat tail braid?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
And then immediately grow his hair into a mullet.
Yeah, true.
Tried to be Obi-Wan,
and grow a beard.
And then realizing he looked stupid. Yeah.
But yeah.
Now, I always wondered about the burning of Qui-Gon. Do you think that Luke, when he burned Vader and Jedi, knew that was the tradition of the Jedi to burn?
Yeah, I think he
their
knew
dead.
Yeah, I think he learned it from Yoda or
one of those. What it is, studies type thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But I love seeing the scene going. Oh, that's what they did. It wasn't just like Luke doing his thing.
Yeah.
It was like that's.
Yeah, I like to think he knew that was the tradition, and so he wanted to keep the tradition alive.
Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, I never saw any of this for years.
Oh, no wonder you thought that Palpatine wasn't Sidious. That you didn't connect that, because there's this scene where it's like, yeah, they're like talking about the mysterious war, they're being a Sith, and then the scene ends with Palpatine smiling.
Always two there are.
Yeah. No more.
Right.
No less.
No more or less. Right. That's why. Yeah. That's not the only reason why. I was also 10 years old, but
yeah, right. Yeah, apart from you being 10, but it's like, which was destroyed? The master or the apprentice of the Sith we're talking about. Oh, look.
Yeah, exactly. And then I didn't get this either.
Oh, I love this song. Yeah,
sorry, I'm a little early on that.
Yeah, that's too bad. I really like this John Williams song.
It's very. I mean, it's very different for John Williams.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but it's a lot of choir in the prequels that you don't that you don't get in the.
The only time I could think of choir in
it's just Jedi.
Oh,
yeah, the men's choir. Oh, that and the when Luke is beating up Vader. The men's choir's in that song, part of the song too. Yeah. The Emperor's theme. I love that song.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love this guy next to Yoda.
Yeah.
Like, that's just, he is...
One-Eyed Pete.
Yeah.
I just made up the name.
This is Jedi Master One-Eyed Pete. Yeah, not so much.
All right.
I like that her makeup here is not as starkly plastered on her face. It's like this transition period for her.
Peace.
Yeah, we bought this at Spencer's.
Jake, I keep it in my kitchen.
Yeah.
Like little Jake, like I never saw Buzz cut Jake Lloyd for all his years.
They were on top of that. They were like, "You're Jedi now."
Right.
Even his hair looked longer. Oh yeah.
I never really noticed that. All right. One of my favorite things, I don't know if we're going to make it all the way through the credits, so that's why I want to bring this up. One of my favorite things is if you listen all the way through this, right? There is a point where after you cut, right now it's all up. It's the Star Wars theme, right? But when it plays through more of the score here through the credits, there is a moment where you actually hear the Imperial March.
Yes, in Anakin's
melody
theme.
in Anakin's
yes,
theme.
It's awesome. It's really we could spend a whole episode on each of the each of the film's music.
Yeah.
Really if we wanted to, but you're
easily.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that though. And I love it at the very, very, very end you hear the Vader breathing.
Yeah.
The very, very last thing. Anyway, this was really fun.
This was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening. If you made it all the way through. We enjoyed ourselves, and we'll do it again soon with episode 2. Stick around. Give us any feedback. Share your stories about Star Wars. We'd love to hear from you guys. So hit us up, beerwithgeeks@gmail.com, at beerwithgeeks on Twitter, facebook.com/beerwithgeeks, beerwithgeeks.com. Find us on iTunes. Leave us a review or a rating. Stitcher Radio as well.
Yeah.
Anything I missed?
Thanks. Yeah. Nope. I think that's it.
I think we got it. All right. Well, thank you guys very much. And you'll be hearing from us real soon.
Okay. Cheers.
This podcast is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. All character names, sound effects, and quotes are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of Thought Bubble Audio Studios unless otherwise indicated.